right. All right. We're going to do a little saddle draft review and we'll try to make it as quick and as enjoyable as possible. We have Damage Inc. Matt. We have, I'm going to always say Gerace, but Chris Gerace, Master of Disguise. And I am Gas House Gorillas. I'm Jeff. So I know I personally don't know face to face everyone in the league. Obviously a good amount of them, but I realize that maybe they've seen our faces or know our names and we know their names, but they were sitting in
Yeah.
the crowd. I couldn't pick them out, so
Yeah.
uh,
I
anyway,
might have
but
met I might
Yeah,
have met
Drace, you
most
went
of
to one of
them.
the drafts,
I
right?
did go in
yeah,
live
you
the
did.
first draft. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mike, one of the Mikes used to host, and
yes.
yeah, we always had a good time there.
It's
Yeah,
awesome,
yeah,
man. Yeah, I
yeah.
missed that. I didn't get a chance to do that. But we were chatting real quick, and the idea was we're actually going to do the whole draft. We're going to roll through, try to make it as quick as possible, give our piece. Obviously, we're going to be a little heavier on our own philosophies and maybe our own teams. But we're not here to offend. We may poke fun. It's all in good humor. So, yeah, let's do it. I was telling these guys, I haven't looked at the board completely, which is crazy for me. I usually am on it a few times immediately after the draft, so I'm excited to go through this. So, all right, so let's read through it first. Jumping right off, we have Perdomo going to Jobbers, Weatherholt, Soderstrom, Mason Miller, Freddie Peralta, Rosarena, Nico Horner, Andres Munoz, Kyle Stowers going to Craig, and Gerace. You stop it with Valdez, and then you back it up with Cade Smith there. Anything in there that you guys were surprised by, love, hate? Any feelings at all? First round's kind of easy.
Yeah. Well, I do initially see an outlier in column three for something.
Column three.
Column three, like most
Oh,
of these are like 14 seconds, 8
Oh yeah,
seconds,
yeah, yeah.
14
Right, right.
seconds, and then there is one player that almost took
That's
wow,
two
what a
of
true.
shocker. It took him a minute and 48 seconds to make that pick. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
struggling there.
I know you weren't loving
I
that
wasn't
pick.
happy. No,
Not saying it's a bad pick,
I
but
wasn't
yeah, I know
happy.
you were struggling with it.
Well, guy, so I had four guys there that I was hoping would fall.
Yeah.
Peralta being obvious, I thought he was the most obvious player on the board. Perdomo, which I think everyone's kind of wondering if it's like true or not.
Yeah.
Weatherholt, and then but Soderstrom honestly was kind of my target. Um,
Yeah.
Mm.
and then so when all those guys went, my debate was Nico Horner or Randy, and I'm not the biggest Randy fan, so but I mean I can't deny the numbers. I can't get mad at him because he was a douche with Cal Raleigh.
Right, right, right. And he
Let's not
almost
go
went
there.
30-30 last year.
Let's
So
not.
yeah, I mean it makes sense.
No, but
Absolutely.
I definitely struggle with that pick, so I was a little torn. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
But yeah,
I,
I mean I agree. I think Soderstrom and Peralta were the best picks here. Um, I mean, they're just solid, and they could. I mean, Peralta will be a good player in this
it's
league.
nice, yeah.
Soderstrom could have a huge year.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I think he's going to have a pretty good year.
I know
This is
Matt's feeling on this, but are you sold on Perdomo? Do you think that what he
No,
did last
no,
year?
I was going to
Okay.
say that's the worst pick in this. Like,
Hmm.
and if he can
mm,
repeat, then obviously that's the pick to have.
I
If it didn't come out of absolutely nowhere, then maybe I would feel stronger that he's going to get close to it. But I don't. I think it's just a little risky. But I know Jobbers is the one that had him last year, so that probably helped his decision to draft him again. But I don't
yeah.
know. It just seems like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Matt?
Yeah. I don't remember. Didn't he have Perdomo and Weatherholt also? I forget how many of these keepers were his, but a lot of the early picks are Jersey Jobbers
Yeah.
throwbacks.
Yeah.
Um, with regards to Perdomo, I think it's a smart pick because Jobbers is you look at his keepers and they're pretty studly.
Yeah.
So he's not looking for. I mean, I think Weatherholt would have been a better pick if you needed keepers, but if he's in win now mode, and if you have a chance to get a guy like Perdomo, who let's just, I mean, you got to assume that he's going to put up similar numbers. Maybe there'll be some regression, but if you're going to go for it now, I think Perdomo is probably the safer pick because Weatherholt might have some growing pains. Would anybody? I mean, Volpe was like shot out of a cannon early on in his career, and then we all
Yeah.
know what happened. So Weatherholt could be batting like 200 two
Yeah.
months from now. You never know. So I
Yeah.
think Perdomo was a safer pick there,
Yeah. But I
and
think
you know.
I
Well, I
think
think
Soderstrom and Peralta are probably safer than Perdomo. Like if we're going on safe,
Yeah.
I think they're safer, and Rosarena is probably safer.
I was
So
going to
I
say,
think,
yeah.
Yeah, I think he has a
but
lock on some outfielders though. I
well,
think
yeah,
his
I think
outfielders
that's the
are
problem.
stacked.
Part of his problem is that he has too many outfield. Like,
Yeah, God damn it, jobbers, give some of them up.
yeah,
You have too
Um,
many good outfielders.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, don't be
right.
so
So
greedy. Well, here you hit on three things, Matt. One being the philosophy, and this is what's hard about this draft. This is what's fun about the draft. It's definitely, I mean, I would say it's probably my favorite draft to do. I mean, I like it's different, but like between this and Die Yankees, and we were talking about that with JP a little bit through text, but anyway, but because everyone's philosophy and needs are different. Some teams are on the cusp of winning. Some teams are on the cusp of rebuilding. Some are smack dab in the middle. So everyone's draft philosophy becomes different. That's one thing you hit on.
Yeah.
Two, safety wise, going back to my pick with Randy Arozarena, the appeal to him is
Hmm.
is his safety. So that was definitely for me, knowing where I am, I feel like I'm in compete mode.
Yeah.
And so for me, like having that safety, not necessarily very hungry for keepers, of course, I'll take more or take more options, but it was something that I felt was safe. And then three, I personally think Perdomo is closer to what he is last year than what he was prior. And so, like Gerace, my pushback to you, not that I'm looking for an answer, but just something to think about is that yeah, it did come out of nowhere, and so I think that's why everyone's a little skeptical because for 2 years prior, he wasn't anything close to that. He was like a soft hitting shortstop that was really only out there for his glove. But if you go look at like Baseball Savant and you look at those underlying numbers, like they all seem legit. And it doesn't mean he'll have that again, but I mean, some players do just come out of nowhere. Like for example, at some point, Randy Arozarena came out of nowhere, years back in Tampa. And I mean, hell, he's a rookie, but like Kyle Stowers came out of nowhere. Eugenio
but
Suarez came out of nowhere.
but those people had pedigree
Pedigree, I
though.
get
Like
that.
it's
Yeah,
not like they came out of nowhere. People knew they were like
right.
really good prospects that people knew and thought could be good. So
I totally get that.
no,
And so,
no, like Perdomo was on nobody's right. Like if
nope,
if Perdomo
he's a
was on
waiver
people's
wire
right,
pickup. Yeah,
yeah,
he's a waiver wire
and
pickup.
yeah, not. But like even if he's like 75, if he's 75% of what he did
That's a
last year,
win.
he's still gonna be
Yeah,
a good player, but he still might not be. There's still
Yeah.
probably going to be better players in the first round
yeah, maybe.
than if he's
Maybe.
75% of
Yeah,
it.
If
yeah,
you look at like a lot of the shortstops that went later on, like right, I mean, Weatherholt was, I think we made it clear, he's still a rookie. You never know
Yeah.
what to expect.
yeah. He's gonna
But
have up
after
and
that,
downs.
the next shortstop taken was the last pick in the second round,
Right,
Willie Adames,
Adames. Yeah, by the same
Yeah.
team. Right, it's smart. It's a
who's
smart pick.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. And then what's it called? And then after that, I think the next shortstop to go was like Trevor Story in the fourth round. So
Yeah.
Yep,
maybe that was his need, that was his goal.
that's true.
It could have
I'll
been,
t-
yeah.
I'll tell you a little background too on my pick. Like I wanted Weatherholt would have been my pick at number 5. So
Yeah,
I tried to move up to number 2, made an offer to JP.
he smacked it
He
down.
was he was not he was definitely interested in Weatherholt, but
You
he was
can't
like
snake JP.
if Weatherholt goes number 1, he was going to make a trade with me so I could move up to get
Ah,
Peralta.
ah.
But
Okay. Well, that worked out for you then. Up, did I freeze or you
he
guys
was
freeze?
set on Perdomo.
Yeah.
And then Weatherholt went, and then I just kind of crossed my fingers and hoping Freddie Peralta fell. After that, I kind of knew once those trades weren't going through, I was probably set on like Tyler Soderstrom. I would have loved to have gotten him, but Peralta was like my guy. But I don't think Mason Miller's a bad spot pick in that fourth spot either.
No, I don't either.
Randy, I think, is a great
Yeah.
spot. Yeah. Nico, I think all the rest of the picks were really good. Even Stower's ninth, he probably went a little earlier than I would be comfortable with, but I think that's a really
I
promising outfielder, I guess.
yeah, I debated keeping him.
And then
Like he
Framber is a
was.
slam dunk. I love Framber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Framber's solid.
Yeah.
I hardly was that no that I opposite. I very much considered keeping Stowers, and but
Yeah.
the same thing. It's like the same Perdomo thing to a different degree, but like it is what he did real, and can he do it again?
Right.
So I was hoping maybe he fell back
Yeah.
in the second as like an option, but yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that all
Right.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
Mhm.
and Craig, Lucille Betts, Craig.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
first two picks are Marlins.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
that's funny.
Were they the first two picks?
Yeah. So next we went. Yeah. So
yeah,
then
that's a bold
Gerace.
strategy, Kai.
Yeah, yeah,
No, it could still work
Oh
out.
wow,
I
yeah.
mean, they're decent players, but that's still a little scary, like
True.
being Marlins.
yeah. No, you're right.
Very
So
true.
we start the
Go back
second.
real quick,
Oh yeah,
Matt.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think I not that I don't like Weatherhold, I do, but I think you're better off getting Peralta.
I
All three
agree.
of us here are in win now mode.
I
Like
agree.
our teams are stacked. There's no reason
Hmm.
to like this early get somebody that maybe he has a great. I mean, he had a great start to the season, obviously,
Hmm.
but he is a question mark. All rookies are question marks.
Right.
Yeah.
It Go for it, Matt. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you were last year.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well, just
Yeah.
to give some reference to everyone too, we're recording here on Friday night, so some games are on, but we're trying not to use the bias of what's happened so far to either
Yeah.
claim victory or defeat for any given player.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, technically, you could trade Peralta for a guy like Weatherholt, like a ace type
True.
pitcher for a prospect later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And vice
Um,
versa too. I would have definitely considered moving
right.
Weatherhold because what do I have? Ellie De La Cruz and Zach Neto. I'm pretty loaded at shortstop to start with, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
yeah, it was Weatherhold and Peralta were like my two guys that I really wanted in the first round.
Worked out for you. Didn't work
Yeah,
out for
it
me.
did.
Which I'm fine. I wasn't like happy, like, yay, my pick. The second
No.
round we start with Gerace on the turn with Cade Smith, Harris with Augustin Ramirez, Matt with Edwin Diaz, Green Machines with Estevez. I take Johan Duran. Delirium takes Eugenio. Rich takes Salvador Perez. Stoners with Bednar. JP
Yeah.
Suzuki. And then Jobbers back to back with Adames and Chandler. I'll say
Yeah.
something
Big.
really quick in here, and then I'll say my piece. I was super happy that Duran fell back because I knew that a lot of the relievers were going to go, and they did. And to
Yeah.
me, he was easily top 3, 4. And then between not only almost keeping but also drafting, even in the first round, had he been healthy, I would have taken him. Seiya Suzuki. We didn't know the
Yeah.
history of the status of his leg injury yet, and so to me, I was just really nervous about having him and maybe losing him for the year right off the dick.
Mhm.
So I'm happy. Like I wanted him. I think that could be a great pick for JP though. But
Yeah, I think so too.
It can be. I don't like the pick there though. But like even though now it looks like I mean it's not going to be the year or whatever, but that's still a tough injury for an outfield. I mean maybe he DHs a lot, but
I think he will. He did last
it,
year. You told a lot.
yeah, but it could hamper him this year. Like even if he comes back, like having a PCL injury
Yep.
like that, like maybe playing and he just doesn't have the same juice.
Yeah.
So
No, it's
I
true.
just think it's a little early. Like I love the player, like I like
Yeah.
Suzuki, but I think it's just a little early because of that injury.
I don't mind
Yeah.
it. I don't personally mind it there, but I get
Yeah.
it. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only other outfielder that you probably would consider is Michael Harris. He went the next round
Right.
outfielder.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like George Springer went.
Right.
And then you're dropping down into like Jacob Marcy, Taylor Ward, those types of guys,
Yeah.
Other
types of players.
risks.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean Suzuki kind of makes sense there. I
Yeah.
would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for I
And
think JP's team.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, definitely a big closer run.
Yep.
And yeah, this draft, I don't mind taking closers early.
Yeah.
It's always the strategy with saves and holds separate is a super challenging
Yeah.
thing in this league, which I
Yeah, it
think is
is.
cool.
And we're
Yeah.
basically in the 12th round at this point,
Yeah, right.
so to speak. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, that was my feeling with going with Kate Smith is just sure up saves
Yeah.
because it's
Yep.
tough when you have to get saves and you have to get holds.
Yeah.
You can get holds at the end of like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter when you're picking the relievers.
Right. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
You can get holds at the end of the draft. That part doesn't matter, but
Yep.
saves are
Hmm.
Just
tough
as
unless you're getting some scrub that's
Yeah,
gonna get you some
exactly.
saves.
No,
He's gonna
and
kill you everywhere else.
Kate Smith was number one on the one list I use.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were just trying to be different or not, but yeah, he's a beast. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. But all three of us had the same strategy there. So.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
to get one of the big ones. Especially I knew Mason Miller went early. I knew there was going to be an early run.
Yeah, you couldn't wait at like once those two went, and Kate Smith being the second.
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess Kate Smith the third. You didn't really have a choice. You had to take a closer there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
did I.
Right.
I knew that I had to do as well. It wasn't my dream, but
Wait, was he the third?
yeah, Cade was
Was it?
because we had
Oh, Munoz. Oh,
Miller,
Oh,
Munoz was
Munoz.
Munoz.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah,
third.
yeah,
Second, first,
yeah.
second.
So definitely a little push there.
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
fine with everyone else. I'm not the biggest fans of Eugenio Suarez and Salvador Perez at this point in their careers, but like I get it. I mean, can't really argue with the production if they, especially if they continue it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big power last year from
Yeah,
both of them.
yeah,
Still.
exactly, and consistency.
Yeah.
Third
Hmm.
round gets interesting. Jobber starts off with Bubba Chandler, Pie Tasters
Yeah.
with Gosman, Stoners with Chapman, Backwater with Emin Sheehan, Damagink with Harris, Michael Harris. I take Bradish. Green Machines takes. I butcher these guys' names all the time, but Kazumo Akamoto. Delirium takes Raciel Iglesias. Harris takes Sal Stewart. Gerace back to back with Glassnow and Evaldi. Anything stick out
Yeah.
for you guys?
Fuck you getting Bradish in the third round.
I was
You
happy with that
asshole.
pick. Yeah. Although I'll say Matt took my guy. I was really hoping Michael
Oh,
Harris. I'm surprised he was
yeah,
still there.
that's great too.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was an
Um.
amazing
Like
pick.
those three picks in a row, Sheehan, Harris, and Bradish. I can't believe they made it that far.
Yeah.
But I
I'll
guess
say,
when you
I'll
have all
say,
those relievers go, people get pushed down. But
Hmm.
those three picks there are really standing out to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like the Bubba Chandler pick. Like that first round pick for me, he went through like a mid of different guys. There was certain days I was thinking maybe I'm taking Bubba Chandler with the number 5 pick overall. There was
Right.
days
If
where
your
I was
guys went,
thinking yeah, like Jonathan Aranda too was a guy I considered that
yeah.
early. That's how
Yep.
much I wanted him.
I
But
debated that
he's
too.
really, yeah, like and then I'm sure there was like a couple other guys that I can't really think of right now, but
You'll see him on
that
my
first
team.
pick was so tough.
Yeah.
What's that?
You'll see him on my team. Yeah.
But Michael Harris was another guy I was considering taking in the first round too.
Dude, same thing. I debated him and Randy pretty hard.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
He had a great second half, so I'm
He
very
did.
happy that he fell.
Yeah.
Um, but no surprises. Gaussman's a great pick. I think he's a safe pitcher, and get like a stud like that in the third round is nice. Yeah, Bradish is good. I like Okamoto going to Green Machines, and yeah, Sal Stewart, man, he's a wild card. I didn't think he would go that quickly, but I think that's a good pick for Lucille Betts.
I agree exactly to that sentiment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd go there, but I think it's a smart move by Harris. Uh,
Yeah.
I guess one more thing I'll say, and this is always interesting to me in drafts. We always have like our desire picks, right? We're saying
Hmm.
some of those now, and then we always have, for whatever reason, for like legit reasons or no reasons, or we've had them in the past, guys that just like are not on our draft board, and when they go, you're happy about it because then like sweet, like
Yeah.
that was a guy who was nowhere near on my list anyway. So for me, this round has a bunch of those guys. And again, doesn't mean they're bad players. It's probably a flaw in my system, but like, so I'm not disparaging the picks, but the guys that I was happy that went because nowhere near on my list, Galsman, Chapman, uh, Sheehan was on my list, but I'm skeptical of him a little bit. And I had him last year, but I wasn't like sad he went necessarily, but I see the appeal. Okamoto, Iglesias, and yeah, and that was it. But like all those guys, so it was a very good round for me, even though Matt broke my heart with Michael Harris, and I did want Sal Stewart, and of course I love to see Bubba Chandler. But yeah,
Yeah.
anything else before I move to three?
Don't
Let's
think
do it.
so.
Yeah, I like your back to back there. For kind of what we'll talk about anyway. So Drace with the first pick in the fourth goes Uvaldi, Harris with Trevor Story, Matt with Will Smith, Green Machines with Schittler. I'd take Lodolo. Delirium takes Altuve. Brown Backwater goes Pavetta. Stoners go Springer. Pie Tasters Villa Marte, and Jobbers Devin Williams, and then backs it up with Jacob Marcy. Anything stick out to you guys in here besides the big LIL redness next to Lodolo? Fucker.
Yeah, because I mean, Lodolo should be good. I mean, he was
Yeah.
good at times last year, so that's a good pick. But yeah, it stinks that he's on the IL again.
Yep. That's his
Um,
thing. He had a great year last year, by the way.
yeah. Well, I had him,
333,
and yeah, he
108.
had a pretty good year. It was kind of up and down. Like he was great at sometimes, and then other times he was just kind of fine. Um, I just know that because I had him in one of my
Right.
leagues.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but he's got some promise. He's just not the, at least last year he wasn't the strikeout. He still
He's
got
nine
nine,
nine per K.
but
Yeah, nine
he
per.
still wasn't the strikeout pitcher he used to be. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this round is interesting because all of these players are kind of the same, right? They're all veteran guys, and it seems like every team was like, okay, maybe you'll take a chance on a rookie or some guy you really want in the first 3 rounds. Now you're playing it safe. You're grabbing a Evaldi for a low ERA and WHIP. Trevor Story had a great year. Will Smith is solid. Cam is probably the wild card. I mean, he looks incredible. Lodolo had same thing, had a good year, and he's established now. Altuve, super safe. Pavetta, Springer, they're all kind of like veteran
yeah,
guys you wouldn't mind having on your team, and you don't want to reach for them too soon.
right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. My favorite pick there is the Nuevo Marte pick. Um, Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I kind of lost track of him. I think I actually had him being as a keeper, because I always try to see who might be capped. So I make a little, possible list, and some teams have 15 guys and jobbers had like 22 guys, and I try to figure out what 10 might be there, or
Yeah.
not be there, I guess. And I guess I thought Marte was kept, but like, and I think I kind of fell for him a little bit like as the drafts were happening. I know I got him in Locks League. But like I really wish I took him, honestly. I think
I
that's
think
a
he was
great
being
pick there.
considered as a keeper, but I think Stoner's just went in a different direction.
And
But
I get it because he's been a frustrating player, between
yeah,
just forever a prospect. He's kind of like Jordan Lawler in a sense, like where just like,
Right.
just
yeah,
like when's the dude gonna play and when's he gonna produce? When he does
yeah,
play,
right.
where the fuck is he gonna play?
Yeah, is he gonna
Yeah,
get busted for steroids or whatever?
Right,
Right?
right,
Didn't he
exactly.
have that issue?
yeah, that's my
Yes.
problem
Yeah.
with the pick. It's not necessarily, I don't have a problem with the pick necessarily. It's just where I like post hype sleepers, but I think it's just a little bit early to take that. I mean, maybe there's nobody else.
Yeah, we'll see, right? Yeah. My internet is shitting the bed, huh?
I don't know. Oh, well, there's only like there's no third baseman left, so I got to find somebody. So we could
Yeah.
have some of that going on as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I lost you a little bit in there. I don't know if it's my internet or what, but yeah, I get the basic sentiment. There is a lot of veteran guys in here, and like guys like I guess between positions I didn't necessarily need, um, and just like that same list of desire. But there's a couple
Yeah.
guys in here that I wasn't like I was totally fine with going, like Altuve, like Springer, who had a great
Mhm.
year, but I wasn't sad that they went.
Yeah.
You know,
Same here. I didn't want to. I didn't want any part of any of those guys. But and honestly, like I should have gone Aronda here. But Will
you should
Smith
have.
was just a sexy pick. I know.
No, yeah, there's Grammy, especially
Kills
with
me.
catchers. He was great. I'm
Yeah.
not big on Eovaldi, Gerace, I know he had a great year last year. Um,
Yeah,
and
He
I've
did.
liked
Yeah.
him since like I remember having him when he was on the Marlins way back when. But like, and he was always like I always liked the way he pitched, but like you can't argue with the numbers. You look ER
yeah,
173 ERA 85. I just talk he's 36 and talk about like he's been healthy. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I just always remember him like just
hmm
being not healthy, but hey, he's putting up 22,
yeah.
29. I mean, 3-year average 25 starts a season and and a
Right.
3.16
I'm not
ERA.
expecting him to do what he did last year. Yeah, I'm not expecting him to do what he did last year either. But he was the previous 2 years. He was good. I think he was just the safest pick. If you look at
Yeah.
starting pitching after that, he was just really safe. And since nine of my 10 keepers were hitting, I'm
No,
just
you
trying to
need a
build my
pitching.
base of
Yeah,
starters.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're
So he was
trying to
safe.
compete.
Right. Like yeah, like Schlittler and Lodolo have more upside if they hit, but I think Evaldi's a safer bet to be a better fantasy pitcher this
Yeah,
year. He's
no, I agree.
36, but the Rangers trusted him to be their opening day starter. It didn't
Yeah,
go great, but
right. Well,
His numbers were insane
that's just
last year.
one game. Yeah.
yeah, couple bombs in there. But no,
So
I think the draft. I think this round's solid. Anything else before we move to the fourth? or fifth. Sorry.
No, I think we're good.
Good, yeah. So Jobbers ended with Devin Williams. He starts with Jacob Marcy. JP goes Tyler
Yeah.
Ford. Stoners goes Yandy. Backwater Browns goes Hayter. Delirium goes Joe Adele. You want to name the next one, Matt? Gas House Gorillas
Let's keep
goes
going.
Aranda. Green Machines,
Let's,
Xavier Edwards. Damaging, Brandon Lau. Not a bad pick. Lucille Bell, Carter Jensen. And then Gerace back to back on the turn. Chris Bubik and Strider. So Matt, why don't you start us off with your favorite pick of this round?
my favorite pick could probably be Brandon Lowe.
Get out of here,
Now,
you fucking
obviously,
liar.
yeah, I think Aranda is he's just like a player that I want. I think he's going to have decent power. He's going to get on base a whole bunch. And I'm just excited to see what he does. I think he's going to be an exciting player.
Yeah, he's got a good bat. He's sexy.
He is sexy. I love it. But at this round, a lot of good players. Like Jacob
Yeah,
Marcy is a guy that I wanted, but I don't think I got in any drafts. I think he was so exciting last year, and very excited to see what he does.
Yeah.
Taylor Ward, another guy. Like I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really look at him like last year. He was on the Angels. Like nobody watches them, but the guy's numbers on a shitty Angels team were so good.
Yeah.
And so like as I was doing my rankings, he was just kind of creeping up, like moving up the charts like the whole time. But there's a lot of good players here. Joe Adele's a great pick. Even Hayter, the smart pick right there in the fifth round to get a stud closer like that.
Yeah, he would have went in the second round had he not been, injured.
Oh, totally, yeah. The last two picks are probably questionable to me, the most questionable, but you knew they were going to go around soon, right? I think Carter Jensen, the hype was big on him, so I'm not surprised to see him go that early. Bubik, but I think it goes back to what Gerace was saying. It's like the pitchers that are available at that time, you're probably just going to go with that kind of player.
Yep. Yeah. And I kind of like what Harris is doing. Like I haven't trying to keep stock as we go. Like he's going young and he's going upside. And you can see there it took him a little bit. It took both you guys a little bit to figure that round out. It took me a whole 16 seconds to take John.
Yeah, look at that. That's probably the quickest you've ever drafted.
That was probably just me finding. I don't know. Let's see. Third 25 seconds, Licandolo.
Ridiculous.
Wait, that's it. 5 seconds. Oh wait, where's my fucking time?
Oh, look at me. I was so shook. It took me 2 minutes and 21 seconds to make my pick.
No, but Brandon Lau is solid, dude. I had him last year. He's a monster. I already saw what he did opening day. Not that means anything, but dude's obviously got pop. When he stays on the field, he's easily 25 homers from second base.
I've never had Brandon Lau in like any of my leagues forever, and I was like, second baseman, power hitter. I'll take that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best few picks. Yeah, I mean, the only question about him is mostly going to Pittsburgh and what that's.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I mean, he had a great start, but we'll see.
His average and on-base percentage isn't to my liking, but he's got pop. There's no doubt about that.
One of the numbers I saw on him, like doing draft prep, was there like people were worried. Well, going from mini Yankee Stadium where they played last year and he hit like 35 home runs to Pittsburgh, but then when they did like the Statcast numbers, like this is how many home runs would have been lost. It was like 2 or something, like really slim. Yeah. So he's just got enough pop where like they're not usually wall scrapers. They're not like Alec Boehm's home run yesterday.
Right.
Not that they're never, but yeah.
It's not all the park though. It's just there's something with that team. That team is like
right. Yeah, exactly. I get that. Yeah. I get that. No, but I think this whole round is really good. There's nothing here like in these players. I'll say it with like it's such slightness because it doesn't like. I think Joe Adele is probably the only player in there that I was like, all right, good. He wasn't really on my list, but I mean, I can't complain about what he did. It just a little bit lower OBP for me personally. And I'm not quite sure if I totally buy it, but I mean, he's got pop. He's going to hit 30 home runs,
he found his power stroke for sure.
He found his power stroke, 98 ribbies, and you can't, you're putting up 2 pretty impressive numbers. So
it's tough having an OBP under 300, even with that pop.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I think everything else slots pretty well. I did kind of hope to get a guy like Xavier Edwards somewhere else, but I didn't want him there.
Yeah.
Same here, yeah.
My other 2 favorites, I like Aranda. I mean, I had him last year, but I'm not as optimistic as you two. I like him, but his only problem is he might platoon.
They might.
Maybe, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
early in the he platooned last year, and I mean that's the problem. Is
Yeah.
if they don't play him against lefties, or at least they didn't last year. So that's the only thing that could be a problem. But he's a great hitter. And
Mhm.
Carter Jensen, I think, with that upside, and catchers are very important in this league. Having to
Yeah.
start to,
No,
I think
that
Yeah.
it's a pick for Craig.
yeah, that could be a huge pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I think, and I don't know how to think on this. It's just a philosophy I kind of toss back and forth with what you're saying, Jerace, about the platoon splits. If he was my only first baseman and he was the only guy I'd be able to play there, or like I was relying on him always to start, which I don't know. Honestly, I have to look at my roster to see if he's that integral to my particular team build. But like
Right.
I'd probably be more worried about it. But I feel that like if he was to play against lefties and like drag all my numbers down versus me playing him primarily in the weeks where he's going mostly righties, like
Mhm.
3, 4
Mhm.
matchups against righties, and then on the weeks where he's facing more lefties, if I have another guy to plug it in and those stats are better than what Aranda would give me if he was in there versus lefties, dragging them all down, I feel like that team build can work. But
Mhm.
so I think the platoons are always like how you bridge the gap.
Right.
But
It's tough, but like it's kind of like Jock Peterson. Like
right,
he absolutely when
I
he
get it.
plays, he tears the ball, but like nobody usually has him on the roster because he played so infrequent. I'm not
Right.
saying Aranda's going to play
No, I
that
get it.
infrequent
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
anything, but I'm saying it that's where like it's tough when there's so many games where they don't play. If you can, if it's a daily league, it's easier to mix and match than like something
Right.
like this where
Yeah.
you can only you have
Yeah.
two
It just
starters.
sucks that injury, him breaking his hand.
Yeah.
Because I think he was an all-star last year, right?
I think he
Um,
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, he was. Yeah. But yeah, he was off to such a great start, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, he's
That's why Matt
a great
snagged him
player.
somewhere, everywhere else from me.
You had to.
We did this draft first, and then all the rest of the drafts, he knew my fucking secrets. All right, so round
Yeah.
six, after Bubic, Gerace goes Strider. We got a couple Braves here. Harris goes Albies. Matt goes Helsley. Green Machine's Quan. I take
Yeah.
Yanier Diaz, the catcher. Delirium goes Palencia, Daniel Palencia. Brackwater goes Teoscar Hernandez. Stoners goes Ryan Pepio. JP, Carson Benj. Jobbers back to back with Matt Chapman and Jeff Hoffman. This is an interesting round, honestly.
Yes.
A lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on here.
Um,
Go ahead, Matt.
yeah, you could make the argument Helsley's the worst pick, I think. Not the
Could
guy I really
He's
was
not my least
eyeing,
favorite
but
pick.
like I no.
No, but good,
Um,
good.
who's your worst favorite? Who's your worst pick on this?
See that?
Strider?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
by a
I don't know.
mile.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan of Strider. I probably would have taken a shot with Strider in the sixth round, but this was again pre-injury, right?
Yeah, it was pre-injury. But
Yeah.
it, I mean, it's 2 years since Tommy John, or it wasn't even Tommy John, or whatever the frick he had.
I think it was. It was like the internal brace
Some
thing.
Tommy John adjacent. I think they were saying it wasn't Tommy John, but it was like something adjacent. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, it's too. I hate those pitchers the year they come back. I'm more open to them 2 years. So yeah, his speed's a little down, but I think he might not be great in the beginning when he first comes back, but I think he's got a shot down the stretch to regain what he was. I mean, he was the number one pitcher taken just a couple years ago, so it's worth a
Yeah.
shot.
And
And
I just
you
from everything I read too, like people were just saying like Strider is a guy you want to target, and like I was like, really? I mean, like,
you
and I
should
kind of
read
started to
other
buy the hype.
sources.
No, it was
Don't
like
listen to those
a lot
sources.
of sources that were saying it, you know.
Well, stop reading Yahoo fucking fantasy advice.
Don't don't people give too much to like what's going on in spring.
Right, yeah.
Like a lot of the time, people that are doing well in spring suck during the season, and the
Yeah, of
people that
course.
aren't
But
really
that
doing
wasn't
anything in
Strider's
spring.
problem either,
Yeah.
though. Like I think your sentiment is what rings true with most of the fantasy realm, Gerace. That like
Yeah.
he was so elite, and so now he's a year removed from the injury. He's ready to go. He's on a good team. But I mean, here's my issues with him. Even if he is healthy, like I feel that his his tools are so limited. He's got two pitches, and
Mhm.
that he relies so much on velo. He's a thrower. He's not a pitcher. His craft is pure out physical the person. He's basically Shaquille O'Neal or Manute Bol. With Manute Bol wouldn't obviously out physical anyone, but like Manute Bol's only advantage was that he was way taller than everyone else. And Strider's advantage, like he could throw as faster than anyone else, basically outside of like top elite 99% in the league. And
Yeah.
his slider was so vicious that you couldn't protect off the fastball and the slider. Well, now when your fastball is as fast as everyone else's, and people and MLB pitchers can time that up, and all you have is one pitch, like that's never going to convince me. He's basically the equivalent of like Noah Syndergaard with Chris
Yeah.
Sale's tools, but can't like merge the two, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So you're
But
happy he went.
oh,
But he
fucking
is only
thrilled he went.
Okay.
but he is only 27, so like
He
I'm
is.
betting on that he's
Yeah.
going to regain his
Yeah.
fastball.
All right. Let's talk about the rest of the round. We're
Yeah.
done with Strider.
Albie's
All right.
great pick. Great pick.
Yeah,
Albie.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Helsley, not the guy I wanted, but again, I
Fine
think I
there.
was burned last year on saves, so I just was going early on closers that were reliable, and I think Baltimore's gonna have a good year. So
Yeah, I like that
um,
pick.
I think Kwan's a great pick there of the on-base
Agree.
percentage league. Hopefully, he
Yep.
does what he does. Is that why you took Yanni or Diaz too for the OBP, or what was your thinking there?
You busting my balls.
No, I'm just it took you 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I'm just curious.
Dude, I was so torn on what I wanted to do here, and there was three catchers I kind of wanted, maybe four. Yanni Air was
Yeah.
one of them, and then
Ooh,
God, where the hell
Francisco
did I
Alvarez
choose?
one of them?
Francisco Alvarez was the other, and Aldi was the other one. And so, like to me, Yanni Air was probably the safest to like everything. Yeah, everyone else has a little bit of warts, even though I really like them. And I think my favorite player out of there is really the Mets catcher Alvarez. I love that kid. Like, but
Yeah, I think so
he just
too.
fucking can't stay healthy. And if he does, I think he's a monster. You know. But yeah, I
Yeah,
went safe for Yanni Air. I don't. I had no catchers. I needed a catcher. But yeah, I don't love the
I
pick,
gotcha.
but I got the guys I wanted later pretty much anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Yeah,
keep going, Matt.
I don't
Go
love the pick either. So, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah,
I think Palencia was a great pick
I think
there.
that's a great pick too.
Plenty. Yeah, he just wasn't on my radar, but I mean, obviously,
Same.
it's probably a better pick than my pick there.
I think he's going to
I
be a top 5 closer next year, like in that vicinity. Yeah,
probably, yeah. I love Teoscar. I was kind of eyeing him, but like just the age kind of scares me a little bit on him. But I mean, that's a
Yep.
great pick in the 6th round.
Yep.
Pepio again, kind of like the same thing. High risk, high reward. Benj is a good pick there as well.
I love the Benj
Chapman's
pick.
solid too.
Yeah, no, I love I love those picks. Yeah, I think Benj. I mean, definitely great pick for JP. Not only for like his team build and like the player he got,
exactly.
but also he's a Mets fan. Like it's like a triple whammy. Yeah.
Yep, totally.
No, I think this is all solid in here.
Yeah.
Outside of that one pick.
Jeff Hoffman. Let's kick off the seventh round.
Yep. All right. So Jobbers, Hoffman, Pie Tasters, Alcantara, Pie Tasters again. Is this pick coming from you, Matt?
It looks like it. Is it?
I don't know.
What's that?
No. This is probably from Stoners. All right. So Pie Tasters back to back with Alcantara and Sebastian Walcott. Brackwater goes Brandon Woodruff, Delirium, Dalton Varsho. I go Brian Abreu, the reliever. Green Machines, Orlando Kirk. Matt goes Gavin Williams. Craig goes Griffin Jacks. Gerace goes Ivan Herrera, and then back to back with Brandon Nimmo. So, what sticks out to you guys?
Well, I love the Ivan Herrera pick. Definitely just scared me off was just he's DH only, but at the same time that shouldn't scare me off because there's 3 utility spots.
True.
But yeah, I do. I think he's another guy that's kind of like on the up.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's like bat wise, he's like Alvarez, but better. Like, but he can be like a catcher, can be that type of like. If no matter if he was playing outfield or DH, you'd still want his bat in there.
Yeah, and it's weird that you two are both on the call, but I think Abreu and Herrera are my favorite picks in that. that round.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Yeah. Abreu's great. I mean, especially nobody knows what's going on with Hader, so.
Yeah,
totally.
Right.
Yeah,
get you a bunch of saves too.
Yeah, and either way, I think he's solid. It took me a little while to figure that pick out, apparently, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I was having some internet connections.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what
sure.
it is.
You have a lot
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
The
Nah,
rest of the picks are good. I think Sebastian Walcott probably went a little too early.
I
I mean,
agree with that.
I don't even think he's going to play this year.
And you got
I
Tommy
don't.
John.
Yeah, I don't think he's on everybody's radar,
Yeah.
this year. And if he is, maybe he goes. I mean, you probably can get that guy in like the 14th, 15th round.
I
But
tend to agree, man. Like, yeah, so
yeah,
like we I would say maybe like probably like a 7th round early pick, you know.
yeah. JP
I
must be in love with that guy. I mean, hey, we love who we love, and
Yeah.
yeah,
if there's a guy that
exactly.
I want, I'm going to grab him too. But
Right.
I would have waited on him.
I agree.
I think he's in rebuild. Like he's
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
I
really
still think you
young.
could have waited on him though.
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
agree, but I'm saying I think he's just going young, young,
His
young, young.
priorities a little
Yeah,
different. Right, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yep. I like the Gavin
I
Williams pick
like.
though
Yeah,
Yeah, I
by
mean the
Matt.
7th round, I'll
Yeah.
take it.
No, that's solid. He could. I mean, all right. Here's why I like it because his whip is his issue, right? He's just like unproductive. Like, in that sense, he's unproductive. But like, he'll
Yeah.
get you some quality starts. His ERA is all right. His strikeouts are solid. Like, technically, in
Mhm.
the 7th round, he could go easily. Like a guy I picked, or two guys I picked back to back. You could have Gavin Williams above um, Lodolo or Bradish. In
Mhm.
my opinion. And so I think that's a fucking great pick there.
Yeah.
But
I've been taking Gavin Williams since he was a rookie, just kind of waiting and hoping. He's
yeah,
had his ups and downs, so
he's a
I'm
sexy
kind of
pitcher.
optimistic. This might be the year to get him, especially he showed some real promise last year, like some step forward. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
happy getting him in the 7th
Yeah,
round.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
I think this round's pretty good.
I
Yeah.
think aside from Abreu, my other two, I like the other two relievers too. I
Yeah,
think
I like Jax
Yeah.
too.
Hoffman there
Yeah,
and Jax are very solid.
I'm a little
Hmm.
torn on Hoffman, man. Like I like him because he was great when he was with the Phillies. Like he showed that he can be, the next level type closer.
Yeah.
He deserved the contract he got. And I like Toronto, obviously. Like they should put up some
That's
save
why I
opportunity.
like that pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I love the
I
team.
I had this feeling he's gonna lose that job. He looked really shaky at the end of last
Mm.
year.
Yeah.
He's a little bit older.
Yeah.
The underlying numbers weren't that great, and that team's not going to stick with a
Yeah.
guy that's blowing games. And so, like,
Yeah.
if I feel like if at some point if he's
Yeah.
like getting a little bit shaky, they have enough players in there to kind of bridge that gap.
Yeah.
See how many
I
times I
wonder
can
if
use that.
Jobbers feels the same way I feel. I wonder if Jobbers feels the same way I feel about Helsley. Like I could
Right,
see Helsley losing his job too
I
sometime
can
this
see
year
that
too.
too. Yeah,
But at the same time, it's like they're both on good teams.
yeah.
They're gonna go soon. They have a chance to get like 30 something saves. Why
Right.
not?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Not a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah. I like the Varsho pick too. I was kind of hoping to get him, but he went just a touch earlier than I could afford to do.
Yeah, me
I
But
too.
agree. He could.
yeah,
I mean, he was on pace for 40 bombs
yeah,
last year.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Good play.
I like both your picks there, Gerace. Right, Herrera, who obviously you're hoping turns catcher, and then the start of the 8th, Gerace goes Nimmo, Craig goes
Mhm.
Painter, Matt goes Paredes, Green Machines Fairbanks. I take Rutschman, Delirium goes Francisco Alvarez,
Mm.
Brackwater Emilio Pagan, Stoners Matthew Boyd, Pie Tasters Jorge Polanco, Jobbers back to back on the turn Drew Rasmussen and Tatsui Amai. What sticks out to you guys there?
Some risky picks, I think here. Some
All right,
stinky,
who's
let's-
risky
stinky
in there?
picks. Well, I think all of them. Like
The-
I'm out on Brandon Nimmo. He's not getting any younger.
You're out
The
on him?
OBP
Okay.
is.
You love that guy.
I'm out on him. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, at the same time, I mean, his whole thing was on base percentage, and he took a big step backwards, and he's getting older. Maybe a change of
Well,
scenery helps
last
that.
year he didn't. Last
Didn't?
year
No?
he hit 24 homers and had a bunch of steals.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah,
year he was good. Or
324, 25 homers,
324.
13
Okay, yeah.
steals,
But I mean,
13, yeah. So, and
154
he's
hits.
gonna lead off for the Rangers. So I think that's a good
92
spot.
ribbies is impressive for him.
Yeah.
And
it is, but
81
he was on a
runs.
good Mets team. But
He
like the
was.
days of 360 and
I
400
agree.
OBP are
Yeah.
way in the rearview
Yeah,
mirror.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you're
yeah,
probably
that's why I'm out on him.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the Andrew Painter pick. I thought he
I don't
probably
like
could have
that
gone
pick.
a couple rounds earlier, but yeah,
Couple
I mean, it
rounds
depends on how
earlier
you feel about
or
it.
later.
Huh?
I feel like later. I feel like he could have lasted like I don't know. At
He's a
least
sexy rookie out there, you know. I mean, he's gonna go around these picks. So,
maybe
um,
I'm spoiled a little bit by like some of the negative reports I've been hearing over the past year
yeah.
about
And health is always an issue with this guy. So,
health. Yeah,
yeah. But
in
I mean,
general.
now is the time where you want to get him.
That's
There
true.
was talk
Yeah,
about him being in the
Yeah.
starting rotation on a great Phillies team. Why not?
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
I
I
have
like him. I like him. I think it's a little early, but in a draft like this, it's hard because
got to take who you want.
your keepers, it doesn't matter what round you get them in, so they
Yeah,
tend to go earlier. So
right.
Right. Yeah.
I feel that like Painter, if I had to guess, if I was putting money on it, my take would be Painter is going to take the path of like Mackenzie Gore, and so
Yeah.
like as a Phillies fan,
I
if
hope not.
it, I know that's what I'm
No, I
saying.
hope it doesn't
He's
take
gonna
that
be on a
long.
new
Is
team
what
in a
I'm
couple of
Right.
years.
No, but
Yeah.
like, but I like Mackenzie Gore now, right? I like Mackenzie Gore now. So if like Painter becomes that, great. But I just
Yeah.
think it's going to take some time. I think he's going to have to regain what he had if he
Yeah.
can, because if he can't, then he's a different pitcher. And then he has to, if he
Yeah.
can't regain what he had, then he has to relearn how to work with what he does have. And
Mhm.
then you have to deal with like now he's in the major leagues. Like,
Yeah.
like it would
Yeah.
be
I mean,
hard if he.
hopefully not. He was more elite than even Gore was when like he was coming. Like he was just
I mean, they were both the number one
he's one
pitching
of the
prospect,
pitchers that's come. They
Yeah.
were,
Yeah.
but like Keener was like just sick
higher.
at at 19 years old. Um,
Yeah. There was so much hype from all the experts on Painter for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean Gore was elite too, but he had a lot of problems in the minors, if you remember, for a while. So and those weren't injury related.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I like the back-to-back catchers there, obviously. I mean, Rushman's had bad years back-to-back, so we'll see on that. But I think that's a great
Yeah.
pick there. He'll at least give you OBP
Yeah.
without anything else, which is tough a catcher.
I was really
Um,
torn there because like I said, I really love that Francisco Alvarez, and I was like, do I take Adley for what he was and what Gerace traded his team to get?
Mm.
And now Gerace is so bitter that he's out there and he wants him, but he doesn't want him because he's so bitter at him. Or do I take the guy who I think is probably the better hitter? And what do the Orioles do with Adley and Bazzalo, their catcher
Yeah.
situation, and all that stuff? So yeah, it was tough, but I
I
had the
still think Rushman has more upside than Alvarez. I think Alvarez could be like a good player, but I think he's not going to give you everything that Adley could give you if he
yeah.
does what he
I
could.
disagree. I would have rolled the dice with Alvarez over
Alvarez,
Rushman.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard because Rutschman to me is still in the back of my brain that like the best catcher in the league potential.
Yeah.
I don't think he
I don't know.
is
I think
that.
that ship has sailed.
I
And
kind of agree, but I
He's
still
not that old. He's 27 years old. You can't say the ship has sailed.
well not.
well,
I don't think it's
looking at his
because
on
of
base percentage the last 2 years, it's not going in the right
Yeah,
direction.
I said he's had a bad
he's been
back-to-back
hurt.
years,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
it's not like Alvarez has lit the world on fire, though.
that's true
I know.
too. Yeah,
Well,
that's
true,
true
but he's
too.
only 24, and Rushman is not getting any younger. I don't know. I just probably would have rolled the dice with
Yeah,
Alvarez.
no, I
You
mean,
know,
I can't argue against it. I just think Rushman has more upside.
I
yeah,
guess is the
if he
debate of
bounces
like
back.
Because
who's
Alvarez
gonna.
isn't going to have a good on-base percentage,
I
probably.
don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I think it's almost the
I don't know.
debate about do you want the guy who did it and you're happy if he does it again,
Right.
or do you want the guy who could do it and like do it better, maybe in a different way, maybe like more
Yeah.
pop. And
Yeah.
339 on base, last year it's good. But yeah, not before. Or do you
Yeah.
want, yeah, like, do you want that like, explosiveness? I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy in this round that a lot of players went. Really, the only players I'm kind of sad that went are Francisco Alvarez, and that's it. Everyone else, like I get, and like I'd probably be okay in some capacity having. I think Fairbanks was probably my biggest other target. And I don't think I had any of
Yeah.
the other guys as targets on my team.
No, I want to hate the Emilio Pagan pick, but really he's the 13th ranked relief pitcher.
Yeah.
But can't hate it. Matthew Boyd, I do hate. I wouldn't have taken that for
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
and the
Polanco's
Polanco
good
pick, I'm
there.
sure we're all kind of scratching our heads
Well,
on.
no,
But yeah, you never know. Polanco put up some good numbers last year.
if he bets cleanup for the Mets, then that's a good pick. It does
True.
that. When he's
And they're
batting
going to have
cleanup,
guys on base all freaking season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
again,
mean,
power hitting second baseman, not bad.
right, exactly, and back up
Yeah.
first or whatever you need. Yeah.
Yeah. Drew
Anything else?
Rasmussen, he's too scary for me. But I think in the eighth round, that's a pretty solid pick.
I like how when you say his name, I just picture like Dracula, like Rasmussen, Rasmussen.
Rasmussen,
God damn it.
Rasmussen,
He's not from Transylvania.
Rasmussen.
Rasmussen.
That's what I call
Van Helsing. He's coming to get you.
him.
The way you say
How
his name makes me so scared of him. Like
good. I want you to be scared. How sad were you when Amai went in the top of the ninth?
All right. Yep. So top of the ninth, Jobbers goes Amai, Stoners goes Cameron. Stoners back to back goes Colson Montgomery, Brackwater, Zach Wheeler, Delirium, Torgelson. I take Blake Snell, Green Machines, Kenley Jansen. Matt takes Sonny Gray. Craig takes Ian Happ, and then back to back Gerace goes Trout and McGill. I was pretty upset that Amai went there, but I don't know what to expect from him. So I think it's a fantastic pick for Jobbers because he basically kind of like the risk and age he has with Rasmussen, he probably gets some safety in Amai. I mean, obviously it's hard as a dude's never pitched in the majors, but I think that he's going to at least put up some innings, some Ks, probably a decent whip, and it's not a bad team. It's not like he went to the White Sox. So like,
True.
like I think at worst he's like a Zach Gallen, or like, Zach Gallen now. And at best he's, like a top first round pick next year, or kept, but
Mm-hmm.
so I was,
Good pick.
yeah, I really do like him. I love the Zach Wheeler pick, man, because Wheeler's
Yeah.
injury was not the worst of those two fucking whatever they're take a rib out and move vein surgery. um, but so his was the lesser of the two. And when people have come back successfully from that, unlike the other one, really. So I love that. And yeah, my Snell pick, like I'm not a big Blake Snell fan, but he fell everywhere. I think I got him in every draft I could this year. And I mean, he's kind of like what I was saying earlier. Like he's basically a platoon pitcher, except his platoons are only because he's always injured. But like when he does pitch, he's going to give you potentially Cy Young numbers like Glass now, but like probably
Yeah.
less innings. But when he's out there, he's going to be elite. You just got to deal with him only being out there for half the starts. I'm
Yeah,
out
no, I
on
think that's a
Kenley
great pick
Jensen.
there.
Yeah, I'm out on Kenley
Yeah.
Jensen, like just old reliever. I'm totally out.
Yeah.
I love the Ian Happ pick. I like the Trout pick, and I understand the Sonny Gray pick, but he's also a guy like
Not what I was thinking.
yeah,
Um,
but I get it. But like he's just a guy that I don't. He's like Sonny. He's like Kevin Gallsman to me, but like not as good. But like I
right.
get that he's good. I just
Well,
don't particularly want him.
yeah, very similar guys because Sonny Grace had like back-to-back 200 strikeout seasons, which is pretty
He
impressive.
has, yeah, it is.
I think the best pick into that whole round is definitely Spencer Torkelson.
Really,
Absolutely.
dude.
I think
I would have been wrong. Like if you gave me like six guesses out of the
really,
10,
yeah.
I would have been wrong. I would have lost all my
Yeah.
money.
You weren't impressed with him last year. I mean, he had 30 bombs. He came up so young. I mean, how old is the guy still? He's 26. He's probably entering his prime. I think Detroit's a really good team. I think that's a great pick in the ninth round to get a guy that hit 30 bombs, power hitting
Yeah,
first baseman. I kind of dig it.
you can convince
Um,
me.
you know,
The
Yeah.
rest of it doesn't really do much for like a lot of it was a really hot start and then
yeah,
kind of tailed off the rest of the year. I mean,
yeah. I didn't really
he hit
follow him too
30,
much
but
last
like the
year.
rest of it isn't there.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know,
mean,
dude.
he's
I
still
can be
young enough
convinced
where
in
he
this.
could be okay.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I think that these guys get thrown in. I feel so bad for guys who
yeah,
just go, here you go, fucking deal with it. Like quarterbacks in the
I
NFL
know.
or, these
right.
guys. And it's just like, we don't give them time for failure anymore or to like to
Yeah,
actually grow. And especially in baseball, it's like the fucking hardest thing to do. So I
Right.
yeah,
do understand that like maybe Torque now is kind of reaching this thing. He did have such a good, what was it, second year? It was really solid, 31 home runs, right? And then I guess he missed time last year. But no, I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't be upset at all with the starting first baseman because I mean, he's technically better numbers than Aranda, right? 33,
yeah,
333 OBP, solid. It's not as high as Aranda, but it's really solid. 31 homers, 78 ribbies, 82 runs, like
yeah,
27 doubles. Like that's definitely a solid. So if he can tear up even just a little bit, right?
yeah.
He's not going to play
Exactly.
more games, right, than what he played last year at 155. But if he can tear up a little bit on like that team that is getting better and maybe, give you 85 ribbies, 35 homers,
Oh yeah,
90 runs,
hmm
30, five doubles or something, that's a really good pick.
Yeah, yeah.
You convinced me,
yeah.
Matt.
I
Yeah.
think he's going in the right direction.
Yeah, I definitely
And
slept on him.
I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah,
definitely at this part of the draft, it's not a bad place to take a shot.
No.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Ian
The
Happ's as
Colts.
steady as they come.
Yeah, I have Ian last year. I was kind of hoping for more than
Yeah.
what he gave me, but again, he's as solid as they come.
Yeah.
His 3 year average OBP is 349, solid.
Right.
Yeah, 83 RBI, 3 year average, 23 home runs.
Yeah.
Get you a couple steals, digit steals. It's not a bad pick.
He's like what they would call oatmeal. It's not
Right.
like you're not excited to eat it, but
Yep.
like it does its job. you know.
Yep.
Um,
And Mike Trout might be the steal of the draft right
it
there
might be. It
until he
might
gets
be.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were about to say something about the Colson Montgomery pick though.
Yeah, I think Colson's it's a nice pick right there. Guy looked really good starting out of the gate last year. He's 24 years old. He's 23, thrown into the fire, hit 21 bombs in like limited time.
Yeah.
Um, I think they grab him, especially for the Stoners. Could
I
be a
agree.
long-term keeper.
Yeah, I agree. I think like Drace hit upon it earlier with like saying something about Pittsburgh. But I feel that like there's just something about like the White Sox players. I'm just like, they're all cursed. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's a bad team, bad organization.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else in there grab you guys or not grab you guys?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Round 10 after going Trout, which I do think is a great pick, man. Really solid there. Um,
Mhm.
Gerace goes Trevor McGill. Lucille Betts goes Cade Horton. Damage Inc. goes Carlos Estevez. Green Machines goes Chandler Simpsons. Grasshouse Gorillas goes Abner Uribe. Damage Inc. with another pick because he's a cheating bastard goes Garrett Cole. Blackwater Browns, Dansby Swanson. Rolling Stoners, Ryan Jeffers. Pie Tasters, Shota Imanaga. And Jersey Jobbers back to back with Michael King and Brenton Doyle. Anything stick out to you guys in here? Any picks you love? Any picks you hate? Any picks you're jealous of?
Well, I love the Cade Horton pick.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too,
that's a
man.
really good
Yeah, I
pick
think that's
there.
a really
Yeah,
good pick too. I love that. I was on him everywhere else and I didn't get him here, but I think he could be
yeah,
like first, second round next year if all things go right.
totally. He was
Or
almost
kept.
rookie of the year last year.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. What happened
Chandler
to your
Simpson's
pick, dude?
interesting.
Why I see why you took so long on your pick, but like
Yeah.
you took so long and then you
I don't like
plugged it.
it.
Here's my thing with Estevez. Here's my thing. I think he started out slow last year as well, where everybody was like, "Oh, he's throwing his fastballs 80 miles an hour." But then you look at what he did during the season, and what do you have, like 30 something saves? So that's kind of why I went with Carlos. I have him in some other leagues, so I was kind of comfortable. He had 42 saves last year.
No, he
So
was I stayed away from him last year because I felt like he was done. But that was
yeah,
when he was throwing like 95. Now he's throwing like 88,
yeah.
89. And I get like spring training isn't everything, as we already said, but like
He started out the same way last year.
he's
Yeah,
losing his job.
But
He's the first closer
but
to
he's
lose his
got
job.
he's got Ursig, he's got Strom behind him, so that's where he's got to be good for him to
Yeah,
stay in that role.
that's
right.
true.
And the
Yeah,
team needs to win games. They're getting their ass whooped right now, but
yeah.
they need to win games. I hate that pick. Thank you for taking him, Matt.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Um,
If he gets me 30 saves, I'll be happy.
But to
You
give
know-
you,
you know-
but to
you know-
we give fair shot. I'm so sorry, Drace. I just to not crush Matt totally, even though it's so
Yeah.
fun. The Garrett Cole pick is a great pick. So 2 picks later, 3 picks
Yes.
later, in the 10th round, you grab Garrett Cole. I think that's a brilliant pick. I can't believe he lasted that long, honestly.
I had no intention on taking Garrett Cole. I think Zach Wheeler and Garrett Cole, like the news coming out on both of them around the time of the draft was
Got
so
better.
positive.
Yeah, it got better.
And then once Wheeler went, I was kind of inspired to just grab Cole there.
Yeah. No, I get
But I
that,
like
man.
your pick of Uribe. I like Chandler Simpson too. I mean, that could turn into like 40 steals right there for Green
Yeah.
Machine.
Yeah. I was happy with your Uribe there.
Mhm.
And that's funny, Drace, because you took McGill.
Right,
and I took.
Right,
I mean, right now
yeah.
McGill's the favorite to get the saves, so I went there. But they're both good pitchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
They're both good.
Yeah.
Well,
Both favorites.
all right, worst case scenario, he gets me holds. Like they're both good pitchers, so I'm fine with either of them.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with the Ryan Jeffers pick.
I agree. I agree.
But I think the Shota Amanaga pick right there could be
Oh,
studly as well.
that's what I was going to point
Yeah.
out. That's
Yeah.
my phase.
I know you like him.
But yeah, he's showing his increased velocity this year. Maybe he could have the semi Sanchez awakening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
This
he
stuff
did,
is
I
so
like
good.
that.
it
Yeah.
could be interesting because now it's his third year, right? So his first year he had the advantage in the league and did really well. In the second year, the league adjusted and he was decent. But he's obviously a very good pitcher.
Right.
Just a matter
Yeah.
of like now how does he adjust, back to the league.
Right.
So yeah, I think
Was
it's solid.
last year was a down year for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
it
his
was his
whip was a
second.
.99.
Yeah. He was
Right. It's
still good.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I like
It was
that.
his biggest thing is his strikeouts went way down.
Gotcha.
Only
Yeah.
yeah, right.
117.
They
That's
basically
what,
went from one per inning to 144 innings and 117 Ks.
right. Well, with the
So
increased
Yeah.
velocity, maybe that goes back up. So I
right.
think that's a great pick here.
But
Yeah.
I could take a guy like that, like if he's gonna, have less velocity and stay consistent. Like I'd sacrifice the Ks for, everything else. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no, I think solid round.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think King's a pretty solid pick there, and an 11th round jobber as good as Brenton Doyle. High Tasters,
Yeah.
Luis Castilla, Stoners, Alec Burleson, Brackwater, Mackenzie Gore, Delirium, Robbie Ray. I take Jordan Westberg, Green Machine, Dennis Santana, Delirium, Carlos Rodon, Lucille Betts, Matt McLean, Master of Disguise, Gerace goes back to back. Phillies, Justin Crawford and Aaron Nola. I love the Matt
Yeah.
McLean pick there by Craig at 9. I mean, like in the
Mhm.
11th round, like that guy I think was a first round pick last year. And not that that has any justification of where he goes this year, but like he
Yeah.
is 25 upside if things go right,
In the
Um,
11th round, that's a really good
yeah.
pick. Yeah.
And I like the Mackenzie
Um,
Gore pick because I think that, if now
Yeah.
he's on a better team, he's apparently added a pitch. He had a pretty good, he had a really great first half last year. He was like Cy Young
Mhm.
contender first half last year, and then just fell apart during the
Yeah.
second half. But if he can put it together, like he could be, keeper worthy, essentially.
Yeah.
And the Rangers are good at taking other people's pitchers and
Yeah.
making them better. So
Yeah, exactly. And I also
like
like
the
the Brenton Doyle pick.
Brenton Doyle. Yeah, I think he goes there. I think that was a good pick.
Yeah.
I think the Robbie Ray pick is pretty solid in the 11th round.
Yeah. I can see that.
I dig him. He was on a lot of my targets. I don't think I got him in any leagues. What do you feel about your Jordan Westberg pick? Would you do it again?
Well, apparently it doesn't matter what I feel. You have an opinion about it.
I'm asking your opinion. That's all. I care.
Well,
there's only
okay.
14 seconds.
Yeah.
So
All right, you have 10
I
seconds
liked
to
it.
explain.
I like
You
it.
have 10 seconds to explain your pick.
I'll give you my 10 seconds. All right. So
Yeah.
count me down.
All
He's a
right.
guy that I think when he plays, he's worthwhile. He's on a good team, and I think he just like fits well. But his MO is, can he stay healthy? And so
Yeah.
obviously there's a little risk, how long he's going to be out. But like technically, I would have been happy if he was healthy, he would have been a keeper. So
Yeah.
if I can get this guy healthy and he does what he's supposed to do, and he's got a roster spot still, then in the 11th
You're done.
round, I get a
Done.
potential keeper. I think it's worth
You're
it.
done. All right. It took you 14 seconds to draft him. You had 14 seconds to talk him up.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Dennis Santana? I was kind of debating. I mean, he's not a big K per 9 guy, but he is their closer, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's their closer, and
Did you guys
his
have any
stats
opinion
are
on him or
solid.
no?
Not really.
Yeah.
I was fine that he went. I think he's still out there in some other leagues, like maybe Locks League or
That's true. Yeah.
or Die Yankees. And I think it's, yeah, I mean, he plays for the Pirates. I mean, if he's their closer, he can get 30 saves. And last year, 70 innings with
Yeah.
only 60 Ks, but his ERA and whip were elite, 2.18
Not bad.
and 0.87.
Yeah,
So, like, yeah, I
Might
mean,
be
it's
worth
not a bad pick.
that low K per 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
huge
I like it. Yeah.
on the Luis Castillo pick, and it's nothing against him. He's fine. I just like he's total oatmeal at best. I just feel like he's only declining from this point.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't really love the Robbie Ray pick, but I get it. I like the Rodon pick. I like the McLean
Yeah.
pick.
I like Burleson.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
Burleson's sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Crawford
year.
pick's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about him totally, but
Yeah.
He's got a secure role and
Yeah,
he's gonna
Hmm.
run the
and he
shit out of the
and
bases.
he can
So
steal. Yeah,
yeah.
I do love in the
Yeah,
start
is
of the
that his
12th round.
strength? I don't really know.
Yeah, he's
His
fast. You know, his
stolen
dad's
bases, yeah.
Carl Crawford.
Oh no, are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah,
Oh shit! Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're a little different. I think Carl had more pop, but the kid's still young.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
the 12th, though, Gerace starts off with another Philly, and that's Aaron Nola, Lucille Betts, Zach Gallen, Damage Inc., Walter Jenkins, Green Machines, Bryson Stott, Gashouse Gorillas, Chase DeLauder, Delirium Ranger Suarez, Brackwater, Gabriel Moreno, Stoners, Donovan, Pie
Oh
Chasers, Christian Walker, Jobbers, back to back with Ryan Walker and Marcus Simeon. There's some sexy picks in here, dude. This is a good round.
yeah.
With
Mine's the worst, I think.
my pick being the super sexiest. Come on, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I must have been feeling really good to take Walker Jenkins. I must have been have a lot of roster spots filled to take him that early. I don't know what I was thinking.
I was very
I am
happy I
big on
got
Walker
Chase DeLauder there.
Jenkins, but I could have waited on him for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
you definitely could have waited on him. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were looking for a
Um,
prospect.
You could have. If you got him before me, you definitely could have waited.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I do.
true.
I do love the Stott and the DeLauder picks there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
And Brendan Donovan too. I mean, that's a pretty good pick right
that's a
there.
great pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Donovan. I like the Gabriel Marino. He was like probably my last target for a catcher.
Yeah.
Ranger
Yeah.
Suarez isn't bad there. And the two
Hmm.
pitchers, Nola and Gallen, are solid there for the fucking 11th, 12th round. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of put them. I put them in the Luis Castillo range a little bit. I
yeah,
probably take
I
them
could see
above
that.
Luis Castillo, but they're kind
Right,
of
me
like
too.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're not in their prime, but I think they could still have solid years. I like Allen too.
If
Yeah.
each of these guys could do, I could see either of these guys doing 15 wins, a 3.5 ERA, a low whip,
Yeah.
and like, easily a nine per K,
Right.
K per nine, nine per
Absolutely.
K, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One per inning. Um, yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
fine with all
Gallon
those.
scares me a little bit.
Me too. Totally scares me.
I think he'd be more north of 3.5.
I
But
agree.
he's done in the past. I don't know. He's
Right.
just too shaky for me. Kind
Those
of
would
glad he
totally
went.
be high upsides, right? Like
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
hit that, that's a great season for them. The reality is they're
Yeah.
probably closer to four,
Yep.
and and the whip's fine and the strikeouts are fine, but they're
Hmm.
safe. They're oatmeal.
Yeah. 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 But yes, another round. A lot of good picks here.
Yeah, a lot of great picks
Yeah.
in there. Yeah. All right, so 13, we got Jobbers, starts off with Simeon, Pie Tasters, Royce Lewis, Stoners, Bybee,
Mhm.
Brackwater, Wilson Contreras, the first
Oh.
baseman, Delirium, Dalen Lyle, Gas House, Shane Boz, Green Machines, Edward Cabrera, Damage Inc., Andy Pajes, Lucille Betts, Robert Suarez from the Braves, and Master Disguise with Brian Reynolds, not you got Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
You
Ryan
get
Reynolds.
three
Wow.
mint mobile,
You
Brian
got
Reynolds
Deadpool.
and Kyle Mazzardo
Mhm.
back to back. Well, I would say,
Ooh.
Drace, I love both your picks. I know we're not at round 14 yet, but players I had in the past, but it's more than anything like Brian Reynolds and Ian Happ. I know Brian Reynolds had a down year last year, but like they're kind of one and the same to me with a little bit different skill sets slightly, but they're both like in that same vicinity. So if he can get back to what he was, he can be really solid.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the Bybee pick. I think he can come back and be solid. Like I just trust Cleveland. I just think that like last year he was a little off. And he said he was pressing after signing that contract. But I mean,
Mm.
if we go back, so last year was a bad year. Last year was 182 innings, 162 Ks, 4.25 ERA, and a 1.23 WHIP. But the year before, he's
Mhm.
at 3.4 ERA, 1.1 WHIP. 173 innings with 187 strikeouts and 12 wins. Like the dude can be an ace. Um, so to get
Oh,
him in the
I wouldn't
13th round,
say. I wouldn't say. I'm not as big on Bybee as you are.
I
Um,
mean, you don't
But
think
he could be
those
solid.
numbers, you don't think those
no,
numbers in 20,
his 3 year average is a 3.63 ERA. That's not an
yeah,
ace.
but all right, but well, I don't think that ERA is
That's
bad for an ace.
a
Like it's a
3.63 3 year average
yeah,
is not an ace, in my opinion. It's not bad for the 13th round though, for sure. Um, but yeah, I'm just not as big on Bybee as probably a lot of people. Um,
and that's fine. But like,
yeah.
I even a 3 year average with the first year being a total like out of nowhere, had no pedigree, had no like nothing. His a pretty good 25 games started.
25 starts, yeah.
Yeah, 142 innings, 141 Ks, a
Mhm.
2.98 ERA, and a 1.18 WHIP is great. And then
Yeah,
he followed up in the next
yeah.
year with a really solid year. So last year was the kind of off year that pushed everything up to a 3.63 and a 1.17 and basically a
Mhm.
strikeout per inning. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think that
I got to see more. That's me. That's just me.
I get it. I get it. But
Yeah.
I think that's solid.
But like people like even Shane Baz, people are big on him. I just don't see it.
You hate him. I get that. He was,
I don't
you
hate
know,
him, but I think his K per nine is really nice. But I mean that ERA is just explodes.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
for
But
me.
I think it
That's the
exploded
name.
last year, the park.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, you
And
could
it's a
say
new
that.
home, and Baltimore seems to do well with their pitching as well lately. So
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
that's true. The picks in that round really stand out for me. I'm obviously big on Wilson Contreras. I
that's the
think that's
pick
a
of
good
the
pick in the
yeah.
13th
I
round.
think it's the pick of the
Yeah.
Um, Dalen Lyle, I know he had a decent year last year. I don't really know much about him, but I guess that's a pretty good pick in the 13th round.
Yeah.
I do love my Pajes pick though. I In the rankings he's the 29th ranked outfielder in CBS. Um, not a guy I was ever targeting, but like he's ranked very high on a lot of draft boards this year. So I was happy to get him in the 13th.
Yeah. He was a guy I was torn on. I didn't know what to think. I think that I'm bigger on him now than I was in
Mhm.
the draft season. Like just like
Yeah.
going through the draft season, I think I got bigger on him. And
Mhm.
I think what stuck with me was like I knew he was having a good year. And really, I think his year was split into like three parts. The first part was like just was like easing into it. And then he hit a
Mhm.
stretch there in a year where he was just like really on fire. I don't have
Yeah.
the splits up here, but like I would say like middle of the season, like All-Star break on, he was just fucking on fire. And then it came in the
Yeah.
playoffs and he was so bad that they benched him. And the
Yeah.
Dodgers obviously have so much depth. I think like that lasting memory of him like not playing as he hit like 100 in the whole entire playoffs kind of stuck with me. But going back and
Mhm.
looking at his numbers, knowing again that he started slow, his numbers you can't argue with, man. Like they're really
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah, he had
Um,
a
I
really
don't
good
think it was
year.
the whole second half of the season because I had him. I think it was like maybe in the middle of the season, and then towards the end, he was fine but not great. He wasn't
yeah.
playing every day,
I
so I
feel
think it
like
started starting during the season.
makes sense. I
Yeah,
feel like that's
he had 17 homers in the first half, 325 on base percentage, 804 OPS. He dipped in the second half. Over
okay.
the second half, 63 games, only hit 10 home runs. The OBP dropped to 293, but his OPS was 727.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Doubles he pretty much where it was consistent all year.
that's good. I mean, it could be because he's young. It could be because he was hurt. It could be because baseball's hard. That's what
True.
happens.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
But
essentially his streak and his overall numbers are kind of like Taylor Wardish.
yeah. And Paz is only 25, and he's on a
Right.
studly team.
right.
So, all
No,
right,
I agree. I like
There
that
is
back
pick.
to the draft.
there is one player that went in this round that did not go in 29 rounds in Die Yankees.
All right, hold
Can you
on.
name that player?
Marcus Simeon.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Still on the waiver wire.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what to believe of this dude.
Yeah.
Of course, he was such a stud, in his prime, and
Right.
he's
Yeah.
35, and the dude's such a great ball player. But yeah, I can see that because really, what you're hoping that he is 2024, and even that
Yeah, he wasn't even good in
is
2024. I
3.0.
mean,
His OBP just fucking
Yeah,
nosedived,
it's
and
dipping.
yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
going in the wrong direction. Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
he
agree
didn't
with
play a
that.
full season last year either, though.
No, right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why you got to go back another year. But then he was like 2 years younger,
Yeah.
like.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't really like the Dylan Lyle pick, but Dylan
Yeah.
Lyle. But yeah, I'm with you, Matt. I'm probably wrong. I think that
Yeah.
I think that my Shane Baz pick is like I want him to be so good, and he's sexy, because he strikes
Hmm.
everyone out. He's the
Yeah.
weirdest looking dude though. When I see him up there, he's like a fucking albino with like big bushy eyebrows. It
Yeah,
freaks me
right.
out. He looks like a puppet or a muppet. Um,
Right.
but the other guys that are around, like he kind of reminds me of Edward Cabrera. Like he's got obviously like a great
Hmm.
arm, but like is
Yeah.
he gonna be healthy? And then like he could be the guy that goes out there and throws 7 2-hit innings with 11 Ks, but then he'll be also the same guy that goes 3 innings with 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 5 walks, and blows everything up. So
True.
both those
And
guys.
I love the. I mean, I like the Boz pick, but I also love the upside of Cabrera here.
It's probably a safer pick. Yeah, better
yeah.
At
team.
point, yeah, but well, at this point, you're going for upside unless you. I
Right.
mean, you could go safe, but there's not a
Mhm.
lot of safety
Yeah.
anymore. Big
He's still
Cabrera. Go
he's
ahead.
still Baz is still in the same division, and he's not like Baltimore didn't move those fences in a couple years ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
No.
saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, it's true. Oh, McGonagall get one. Oh, McGonagall might have got his first.
Damn.
McGonagall.
Fucking
Oh,
McGonagall.
dude, Jackson Merrill fucking robbed it.
Nice.
No, nice.
Oh,
Good.
dude, he fucking robbed it. Wait till you see that highlight. That's live here on the fucking podcast. I'm
Oh
trying
man.
out for my Detroit Tigers. I guess actually my Padres uh, broadcasting career. Oh man, what a catch, dude! McGonagall dead center, and
Yeah.
uh, um, Jackson Merrill like eyes it up and just right at the lowest part of the whole thing where it dips down, he catches it. They're really
They're
impressive.
in San Diego?
Yeah. Oh no, no.
Okay.
I guess they're in. Yeah, yeah, they're in San Diego.
Detroit?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Poor
okay, yeah.
McGonagall, dude. Fucking hell. What a wow. What a start.
Well,
Anyway,
he's gonna get his, trust me.
speaking of a guy that had McGonagall upside, right? He's the number one pick in the draft. What is the world with Royce Lewis? Because I don't mind the pick there. Like, because if he can do what Royce Lewis can do, it's great. But dude, fucking Minnesota
Sure.
has him batting eighth.
Yeah.
Which
Really?
doesn't mean anything. But like,
Well,
god damn, it's all right. We see
his,
what they think about him, and then what the hell is his mental side going through? Like he
Yeah.
technically could be
his
a
year
three,
was
four hitter.
miserable last
So
year.
bad, so bad.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
is he? Like, if you put money on it, what is Royce Lewis? Often
I
injured.
don't know, because the only thing holding him back before were injuries. Like he was an absolute beast when he wasn't hurt, whether it was
Ah,
the minors or the majors. Like everywhere, he was just killing it.
Yeah.
And then last year, for the first time, he looked like he didn't belong at all.
yeah,
I don't
no,
know what he is.
they might
Yeah,
have zapped him. Injuries might have zapped
Mhm.
him.
yeah.
Could
Yeah,
be, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Anything else in this round?
nah, not this round.
All right. 14th. Gerace goes Manzardo. Harris goes Lawler. Matt goes
Oh,
Shane McClanahan. Green Machines, Willier Abreu. I take Labor Torres. Delirium, Matt Sponston. Brackwater, Ramon Laureano. Stoners, Stanton. Pie Tasters, Adelise Garcia. Jobbers, Max Muncy from the Dodgers. And Sir Anthony Dominguez from the White Sox. I love the Manzardo
these-
pick, dude. Fucking great.
yeah, I think all of these picks are really great.
I think all
Yeah,
the picks
All of
are
them.
really good. Yeah.
I
yeah.
think the Delirium pick is the only one, but I mean, if you're going for holds or saves, I get it. But I
I
mean,
agree with
every
that.
one of these players I would have targeted and probably in my draft.
I
You
think the ones that stick out definitely are the Manzardo.
know.
Maybe the Abreu is a good pick there.
Abreu is one on
Yeah,
mine.
Laureano. We talked about this before, but like he had a better year than I anticipated. And
Yeah,
Muncy down there is a fucking steal, especially for jobbers. Goddamn asshole.
yeah,
Just hogging up fucking stats by Geyser,
yeah,
bastard.
yeah,
But I don't like the Adelise pick. I'm out on him. I think
yeah,
he's toast. Like I get why the Phillies did it, kind of, but
yeah.
like
Right.
I don't know. I mean, what and I don't know. I just don't. What's his
I don't
upside?
see. I mean,
His up,
maybe what's the upside to Castellanos? Maybe defense a little bit.
yeah, definitely defense.
Right.
Yeah,
A lot of defense, and they hope, I guess, like leadership or personality. You know,
Maybe. Maybe.
yeah.
so
I
I
think
get.
But
he,
he's
I
been
think Adalos could get back to his 2024 type numbers for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
and and if he does that, then it's really good. But he's
yeah,
also not young. What is he? 33, 34?
33.
Right. So I
But
mean,
would it shock you if he has 30 home runs this year if he stays healthy,
no.
plays in that lineup? I
Yeah,
don't think so. And
no.
90 ribbies probably a lock if he's playing every day.
I agree. I just think that if I'm pie tasters there, knowing what he's doing with his team, I probably take, I don't know, like maybe a
Yeah.
couple rounds later. I'm trying to find some. I might even take a chance on Jason Dominguez 3 rounds
Mm.
later.
Or maybe Addison Barger,
Right, right,
something
right,
like
right.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Anything
But I
else, you
think
guys?
I think all these picks are really good. I love the Giancarlo Stanton pick, dude. In the 14th round,
Dude,
you got a
Jesus
guy that might
Christ,
hit
dude.
30 home runs.
You got Vaseline next to your bed or something?
I'm just saying. You know how I feel about Giancarlo,
You
right?
got a poster in your room?
I'm just saying, dude.
So yeah, you know that I think it's Sports Illustrated they did the bodies issue. You buy it just for the
Oh
Stanton
yeah.
part. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
Well,
sure. Uh-huh.
I think there's
But you
something wrong
can't
with the
deny
site.
Stanton is a great pick in the 14th round. I don't understand all the hate. I mean, the guy hit a half a season last year and almost hit like 30 home runs, or
I
hit
don't hate
24 home runs in 77 games.
I
You
don't
know what
hate
he's capable of.
I don't hate the pick there. I'm just mostly busting your balls,
Yeah.
but
I
you know.
I think there's something wrong with the site. I don't see a little IL next to him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
You will.
That
You
must be
That's why I
will.
wrong.
love it.
Yeah, you will. All right, let's go on. Round
That's true.
15. Jobbers takes Sir Anthony, Pie Tasters, Otto Lopez, Stoners, Riley O'Brien, Brackwater, Kyle Teal, Delirium, Connolly, Early. I take Alec Boehm and Matt sheds a tear. Green Machines, Addison Barger, Damage Inc., Kerry Carpenter, Lucille Betts,
Ooh.
Mantuka Marakimi. I'll fucking butcher that name all day from the White Sox.
Hmm.
And Gerace
Murakami.
Murakami, there you go.
Yeah.
Gerace goes Kodai Senga and Jojo Romero to start the 16th. Uh,
Yeah.
what a weird round, but like some sexy
Yeah.
picks in there. Um,
Hmm.
I do like the Otto Lopez pick a lot. I think he's
Mm.
a lock for 15-15 minimally. And so
Yeah.
in this league, playing double positions on a team, I think JP did a great job there. I think that's a fucking solid pick.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Connolly early pick a little bit there. Barger, I like Carpenter. But he definitely got to tune him. Murakami, we obviously know the dude's got massive pops. I mean, down there in the fucking 15th, sure. And I
Oof.
like Senga.
I love the Senga pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I want Senga to be what he was, you know, and I know he was that
Yeah.
just so recently and so short, but like it's that whip that scares me, dude. One, two,
Yeah.
two, even
Hmm.
in his really good year, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I hear you.
but
Oh, I know. I agree. I agree.
and
Yeah. It's
obviously
worth a
injuries.
shot.
Yeah,
This league, though. Yeah.
right.
Injuries the big part.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
the whip's definitely scary.
and Matt likes my Alec Bone pick there. That took almost 4 minutes to pick.
Honestly, I hate Alec Baum, but I love that where you got him.
Yeah.
Do you know what round Alec Baum went in last year's draft?
I don't. Do you?
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
Probably high.
He was
Probably like
he was drafted in the 5th round last year. So for you to get him, and this is an on base percentage league, I would definitely take Alec Baum there.
Yeah. And
You know,
batting fourth, he's going to have a ton of RBIs.
mhm.
yeah,
I mean, the
just no
Phillies
home
lineup
runs.
falls apart after that, but like the first three are so he's going to have people on base in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I agree.
I like where you got Alec Baum there.
Yeah.
I think I was going to draft Addison Barger this round, but Green
It's
Machine
a good
stole it
pick.
from me. That was a nice
Yeah.
pick.
It's a really good pick.
Uh, I think Kerry Carpenter. I like Kerry Carpenter. He has some pop, but
I do too.
you know, I just probably needed like an outfielder
Yeah.
at that point.
I like him.
Yeah.
All
Was
right.
Kyle Teal injured? I forget. He got injured in the WBC. I
Mm,
wonder if he was injured at the time of the draft. I forget.
he
I
might
don't
have got
remember,
injured.
but maybe he was.
I
Yeah, I
think he
forget. But
got injured right after. Yeah.
I think Teal's going to be a good catcher though.
It's
But
still, yeah, it's still a good
same with
pick.
Connolly early. I think those guys going around the same time is
Yeah.
good. They're probably looking for the future, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm not so big on the Sir Anthony Dominguez pick, but I get it. You know,
Same here. Same here.
as much as he nailed the Max Muncy pick, I was like, dude, that's just so much value. The Dominguez pick was like, I was happy he went. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Master Disguise goes Jojo Romero. Lucille Betts goes Joey Cantilla. Damage Inc. goes Sedena Rafaela. Green Machines, Carlos Correa. I take Ezekiel Tovar. Delirium, Kirby Yates. Brackwater, Luis Garcia. Stoners, Andrew Abbott. Pie Tasters, Austin Wells. Jobbers, Ryan Weathers. And then starts off the next round with Tyler Stevenson. Um,
Nice.
I'm pretty solid. Dude, Andrew Abbott, if he does what he does, again, is a great pick there in the 16th. I just don't
Totally.
fully believe it, but I mean, he's obviously like fucking shocking all the models. I'm super happy Kirby Yates went because fuck him. He's like 90. I don't want
Right.
him. Um, And I get all the rest of the picks. Like nothing about the
Yeah,
rest of the picks. I'm also happy Luis Garcia went because I don't know. I think the dude can rake from the one side, but is like useless on the other side, and like
yeah.
not even a usable platoon at all. So, but
I think Tovar going in the 16th round was pretty nice too. I don't know. He had to have gone earlier in the last couple of
yeah,
drafts.
I was happy with him there.
Yeah, but he's still
Third
super
year,
young.
yeah,
Yeah. If he can go back to smacking doubles like he did those couple of years ago, I mean, that's pretty nice.
yeah. If he can get yeah, 176 hits, like, and
Hmm.
if he can basically build off that year, where last year he only
Yeah.
played half the games, I guess, kind of. But yeah, if he can be healthy and put up 26, 15, and 200
Hmm.
hits, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And this guy's only 24 years old. He's
Yeah.
got like a 37 double season and a 45 double season.
Hmm.
Pretty impressive. But I like the way the round closed out. Yeah, Abbott I think is underrated. Austin Wells
Yeah.
for probably his second catcher is
No, I think
pretty
that's
decent.
really good. He definitely
Yeah,
got really like pushed down this just draft season.
yeah, yeah.
I like the Ryan
Weird.
Weathers pick, especially for this league, because it doesn't matter if he's
Yeah.
really going to get you, if he gets you the starts, the wins, and like, the K per nine as a starter. And then if he
Hmm.
gets you the holds and the K per nine as a reliever, like
Yeah,
he's useful in this league. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, he was a guy that I was targeting too. I just never got him in any of the leagues.
Yeah. Same. And then the 17th jobber starts off with Tyler Stevenson, Pie Tasters, Bogarts, Stoners, Robert Garcia, the reliever from Texas, Brackwater, Brett Beatty, Delirium, Cody Clayton Beater, Gas House, Luisa Rise, Green Machines, the Alien, Jason Dominguez, Damaging, Caleb Kerbin, Lucille Betts, Michael Burrows, and Master of Disguise, Shane Bieber, and he backs it up with Aiden Miller. Dude, what a great round. What fucking
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty round. I'm not like Tyler Stevenson is a super easy second
I
catcher.
like
Fine
that
with
pick a
him.
lot.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine with all these picks, dude, because like Bogarts is at this point is what he is, but he's kind of like
right.
surprisingly decent at steals. Garcia
Hmm.
is gonna either get you holds or saves in Texas, so that's fine. Beatty could be fucking worth that pick
I
there.
like
Two
that.
positions,
Yeah.
yeah. Clayton
Yeah,
Beater, that's probably my least favorite pick.
yeah.
But I get it. I was happy getting Luis Ariz because I kind of needed the backup
Oof.
first baseman and then a second baseman, and the dude at least it's good OBP and nothing else but OBP for sure.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
I love that pick. That's what I was. That's where I was going.
nice. I love hearing
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm out on Dominguez, but I get it. Like I would not argue why someone would take him, especially here.
yeah,
With
yeah,
his pedigree. And I know you love Caleb Durbin, and I get
I
it.
left
He's
Durbin there. I think
right.
yeah,
that was a
Yeah,
steal. That's a steal, I think.
he's
yeah,
probably like mini Luis Ariz, except at a different position.
yeah. I think he's
Um,
going to steal some bases though
Yeah,
too.
right.
he'll
I
steal
agree
20
with that.
bases at
I
least.
agree with
Yeah.
that. Good point. Good
And he'll
point. I
give you
love.
some he'll hit over 10
Yeah.
homers.
No,
Oh, for
get it.
sure.
I hear you. I'd love the Michael Barrows pick, but he was like one of my little like sexy picks all draft season. So
Yeah.
I was fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm out on Bieber. Yeah,
yeah,
I get his appeal, but like between his age and his injuries, like just I'm out. But
Yeah.
yeah,
At this point of the draft, I'm
I get it.
just
I
stash him on
understand.
the IL. He did good when he came back last year, so let's just see.
yeah. I think I drafted him last year, and yeah, I dug what he did coming back, and but yeah, I mean, I was kind of target him probably around these couple of rounds too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
get
like
it.
it.
I get it. He was definitely a guy that like never on my list when he went. I'm happy, but I
Yeah,
could totally be a fucking like league winner. Yeah,
It's just a
yeah,
shot in the
yeah.
dark. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I love the Aiden Miller pick. So round 18, Gerace
Hmm.
starts off with Aiden Miller. Craig goes Andrew Vaughn, Pie Tasters, Jordan Beck, Green Machines, JT Early Middle. What a solid draft so far.
This
Yeah,
round
Yeah.
was really good.
Gas House goes Halo
Ramos,
Ramos.
nice.
Yeah. Delirium and Casey, Brackwater, Merrill Kelly, Stoners, Dingler, Pie Tasters, Joe Musgrove, Jobbers, Jared Jones, and Bryce Elridge. What a
Elders, nice.
solid fucking round, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
got some
didn't have. I think I
keepers.
traded my pick this round.
That's probably why it's so good. You didn't fuck it up.
Is it? There's a couple stinkers in there. I wouldn't have taken Joe Musgrove
I agree with that.
there.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I think the
Um,
Musgrove pick,
Merrill Kelly too, but that's just me.
yeah. And I get the appeal for both those guys, just not for me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I was
Um,
happy with Heliot Ramos. I like the Jordan Beck pick.
Ramos,
Yeah.
right? Ramos right there is a pretty nice pick right there.
Yeah.
And I was eyeing Jared Jones too, but like
I like that.
it's hard to say that he went too early, but I mean, it's just definitely a guy I was targeting though.
Yeah. I think that was smart. And I like the Aiden Miller pick. I mean, I think he's already a top 10 prospect. And I feel like between the Phillies not signing Bohm and Edmundo Sosa is also a free agent, probably not going to re-sign him.
Right.
And so there's a clear path for Aiden Miller to play in the majors next year. And if whether he pushes their hand this year or there's an injury, I feel like he's the next man up for the infield.
I think even this year, I think he has to come up and be good for them to really compete this year.
This year, where's the spot though? Like,
I
and
think
you know how I feel about Alec Baum, but like, if the guy hits 30 home runs, 100 ribbies, and leads the team deep into the playoffs, you don't think they're going to re-sign him? You think he's done?
No. He might be done with the team. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah.
Well, they should have traded his ass then when he had some.
Well, first
value.
off, he's probably not going to do that. Secondly,
well, I agree.
Secondly, you put a not a franchise tag. You put a fucking qualifying offer on him, and if he does sign somewhere, you get a first round pick. So, but I don't think I just think that like he's in a position, and the team's in a position where I think they like Stott. He's elite defensively. Trey Turner, you already have him signed. You probably ideally got to move him off short at some point. And so how do you do that? You let Bohm walk, and then you put Aiden Miller at short, and you slide Trey Turner to third. And probably not right away. It's probably reversed in the start. But I don't think Aiden Miller's paramount to their success this year. I think if he's paramount to their success, I think that means they have injuries or massively underperforming.
I think I think their lineup after Bohm is so bad.
That's but where do you put him?
Like they got great. What's that?
Where do you put him?
They don't really have a spot for him.
All right, you're not going to take out Stott for him.
I mean, maybe you do. I don't know.
No, come on now.
Like Stott's not anything. He's okay.
Well, I mean, Stott could take a huge step backwards, and maybe they make a decision there, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I could see the path, I guess, but I think if anything, he's an injury filler to obviously a call up, but I feel that they probably use him as a utility guy to start, you know,
or move Harper back to the outfield and move Bohm over to first.
But then who do you move out of the outfield?
Well, no, I said move Harper to the outfield.
Right, but then who do you kick out?
Oh, kick out of the outfield?
Yeah.
Who plays first base?
It's
Bohm.
Bohm.
Bohm to first base?
I don't know, maybe Garcia, I guess.
You're just being like a WIP caller, motherfucker.
I'll
trade you Alec Bohm and you give me
we've talked enough about Alec Bohm. Let's move on. Fuck that guy.
I agree. All right, anyway. But dude, I love the Aiden Miller pick. I like the Andrew Vaughn pick, man. I think he's more potentially what he was in Milwaukee than what he's shown to be in the White Sox, which again, fucking shame on the White Sox,
I know. It was nice room for him last year. Like, it was so cool seeing him kind of have his moment.
It is. Yeah, because he's a good hitter.
So hard.
Yeah, exactly. But I like the upside of Casey. I like the upside of Jordan Beck. I think everything's solid in here, man. But all right. 19 Jobbers goes Bryce Eldridge, Pie Tasters Logan Hoppy, Stoners Ryan Waldschmidt from Arizona, Brackwater Mickey Moniak, Delirium Spencer Schwallenbach. I take Colt Emerson from Seattle, Green Machines Cam Smith, Damage Inc. Jack Flaherty, Lucille Betts, Dylan Beavers, Masters of the Skies, Gerace goes Tyler O'Neill and Grayson Rodriguez back to back.
I like this. I like this round better than the last one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just shows like everybody did their homework. This draft is really good.
Yeah, Yeah, I agree. Eldridge pick could be great.
Yeah,
totally.
So smart there. I don't like the Moniak pick, but I mean, it's where he goes. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't
that's understandable.
Like him. Yeah, I love this Schwellenbach pick. I mean, dude, if he was healthy, probably a keeper.
Right.
Um, I could see either side with the Cole Emerson pick. I just went rookie. I love the Cam
Mhm.
Smith pick there. I'm kind of annoyed I didn't go Cam
Oh, I know.
instead of Cole Emerson, like especially now, like in hindsight, like damn. Um,
Yeah.
I get the appeal to Flaherty. I'm kind of out on him, but like I know that like he's just like all those other guys I said, like Sonny Gray and Kevin Gaussman and Luis Castillo, that they're gonna be fine. They're not bad. They're not gonna kill you. I just had they're
Yeah,
nowhere near that blob of pitchers is nowhere near on my radar, but
yeah.
can't argue with the production.
But
Yeah.
at this point, it's like going to be at the back of his
No,
rotation, so that's
right.
like huge getting somebody that with that K per
Totally
nine.
smart. Totally smart.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like the Dylan Beavers pick, and oddly enough, back to back, the guy he might be competing with. I like the Tyler O'Neill pick and the
Yeah.
Grayson Rodriguez pick. But anything in there that sticks out
Yeah.
to you guys?
No, not really.
I, yeah.
That's
I
a good
mean, I would
round
say
though.
Yeah,
Schwellenbach and Eldridge
yeah.
are the
Yeah,
best.
yeah. Eldridge could be huge right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, 20th, Gerace goes Grayson Rodriguez, Lucille Nolan Shanuel. He fucking loves that guy.
he loves
Bama
that. He
Jink,
loves
yeah.
him. He hit a
Matt,
homer his first game
Talk
dude,
too.
about
So
love.
yeah, here comes another Matt's love. Chase Madroff,
Woo.
Green Machine's Harry Ford. I take Ernie Clement. Delirium takes Garrett Clevenger. Brackwater takes Jack Leiter. Rolling Stoners, Kobe Mayo. Pie Tasters, Casey Mize. Jobbers, Jet Williams, and Jesus Mate. Goddamn, he lasts that long. Um, I like the
Oh
Grayson
wow, yeah.
pick. I think it's worth it there. It's
Another
it's
Mhm.
it's a little risk, but it's worth it.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
I get the Shanuel and the Mydroth pick. Here, you're just like going. This is where the draft gets really splintered, right? With like
Yeah.
some people
Yeah.
need like holds, and some people need a corner infielder. I don't really love the Harry Ford pick there, but um,
Yeah.
I do love
Yeah,
the
me neither.
Garrett Clevenger pick. I think that's a sneaky fucking
Yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
yeah. And I like these guys. I mean, I like Mayo, and I like Mayo and Leiter.
This could be Mayo's year, man. I like
Could
that
be.
pick there. Yeah.
That's where losing Westberg is huge.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I like a lot of these picks. Yeah, and like I think for me anyway, Chase Meadroff is probably like my first bench player, so I'm guessing that's what a lot of these guys are,
Yeah.
which makes
right,
sense.
yeah, that's why I took
And
Ernie Clement.
I looked at him, but at times I almost selected him, but
Who's that? Who's that, Tracy?
me draw.
Oh, Meadroff. Yeah.
But I didn't know if he could be good or he could be. Who was that other light hitting middle infielder that the White Sox had that was an early pick?
Oh yeah. Oh
Montgomery?
my. No,
No,
no. I mean second baseman.
the
Oh,
second baseman that got picked right. I think it was right after
Nick.
when they picked Bone, or it was he was like at the beginning of the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
second baseman.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, but he was supposed to be like he never struck out ever.
Yeah.
Matt
So he
drafted
kind of
him.
reminds me of him a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll think of it.
Hmm.
I got you though. I feel you on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um.
but worth
But
taking
yeah.
a shot.
Yeah. I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think he's very promising guy. I think he's always going to be on base. He's leading off. I mean, it's bad. It's terrible that he's on the White Sox, but he's always going to be on base. Uh, yeah, so that's basically the on base percentage was the key for him.
Yeah,
Um,
Nick Madrigal. He
Nick
reminds me of Nick
Magical. Yeah, I
Madrigal.
said Nick.
Yeah,
I got the Nick
okay,
part.
yeah.
that
I had
was
the
my
Nick
I
fear.
hope
part.
he
That's why I
doesn't turn
never
into
took
Nick
him. I'm
Madrigal.
like, he could be Nick Madrigal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking more Dustin Pedroia, but let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh
you're
yeah.
hoping Caleb Durbin. That's what you're
Caleb
hoping.
Durbin, yeah,
Yeah.
another guy.
All right, round 21, Jobbers go Jesus Mate. What a fucking steal, dude.
That's a
Jesus
great
Christ.
pick. Yeah,
He
he
went
should have gone
after
way earlier.
all these other prospects. Unbelievable. Pie Taster, Spencer Steer, Stoners, India, Brackwater, Tony Satillan, Delirium, Taylor Rogers. I take Garrett Whitlock, Green Machine, Spencer Horowitz, Damage, Jose Soriano, Lucille Betts, Mick Abel, Masters of Skies, Bo Naylor, and then backs up with Mark Antos. Some good picks. I mean,
Yeah, I like all
I
these picks. I think Mate sticks out though. I mean, he should have gone super
Modest
early.
stuff. I like the Soriano pick though too, dude. He's sneaky good. And he looked really good his first start. Apparently added another pitch, which could be huge for him.
Yeah, I wasn't ever big on him, especially look at the ERA, but all of the experts were like, this guy, his under the hood stuff is great. So I
He's
was like, all
good.
right, I mean, 21st round, why
Yeah,
not?
no, he's good.
Yeah.
I'm cool with the Mick Abel pick. I'm a Bo Naylor fan. I
Mhm.
drafted him last year as my second catcher. He was disappointing, particularly in the first half, but I think the dude's got talent. I think he could be really good.
Is that
Yeah,
your
he's my
second catcher, Drace?
well, he's my third, so he's
Okay.
my second until Herrera gets the
Gotcha.
eligibility.
Okay.
So
All right.
I had to take another one.
Then that
So like
makes sense. Yeah.
September. Yeah.
Yeah. That won't be September. Come on.
You
Jeez.
said yeah. All right,
I like
22nd.
I like a lot of the relief pitchers who went here. I think they all make sense. Garrett
And
Whitlock could be a
Garrett Whitlock's
nice
good.
find right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was happy with that. It took me a long time apparently. But
God damn, dude. Yeah.
and but I looked at it as like I'm not a Chapman. Like I mean, he obviously was great last year, but like the dude's
Yeah.
arms got to fall off at some point, so maybe Whitlock steps in, but he's gonna get holds anyway.
Totally.
All right, round 22. Gerace goes Mark Vientos. Craig goes Ryan Kerkering. Damage goes Jose Caballero. Green Machines goes Will Vest. I take Jeremiah Estrada. Delirium takes Colton Cowser. Brackwater, Evan Carter. Rolling Stones, Zebby Matthews. Pie Tasters, Ryan Nelson. Jeremy
Ooh,
Jobbers. Colt Keith, and then Joe
Cole
Mack.
Keith. Cole Keith is a great pick there. Now the draft's getting weird, right?
It is weird, yeah. Yeah.
Drace, would you take Vientos again if we were redrafting?
No,
No.
I'm already have pending waivers. I
Oh,
Okay. That makes
at
sense.
this point, I think I was looking for a backup third baseman,
Yeah.
and I mean, I was looking at him, and I was looking at Keith, and I'm like, all right, but yeah, obviously he's
Yeah.
not even starting right now.
Oh,
So.
so who are you
yeah, I don't
trying to
know
pick
what.
up?
What's that?
Who are you trying to pick up with Vientos on
Oh,
waivers?
I'm not going to tell you yet.
You could tell us. Come on.
You almost did.
How do
It's
you
a
spell the
pitcher
name?
that's out.
Whatever
I'm going
happens in
for.
the draft review, it stays at the draft review.
Exactly, dude. This isn't going to air
Only if
until a
you
couple of
promise
days
not
from
to
now.
try to like snake him.
Yeah.
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me then.
Some good
uh,
picks though. I like the Jeremiah Estrada. Even
thank you.
Will Vest. They all these picks make sense. I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger on Cole Keith. I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, I can see that. I do like all the
Right.
relievers there.
hmm Ryan Nelson had a good year last year. Zebby Matthews makes a lot of sense there too.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I agree.
you know,
Those outfielders could, if they click, man, they could be really, really solid picks. The Cowser and Carter.
seriously.
I don't expect them to necessarily, but that they could be solid. But definitely some good picks in there. All except the Mark Vientos
Oh my
pick.
God. Yeah, Evan Carter's still 23 years old, you know?
I
Like the
know.
guy was brought up so early.
Yeah,
That could be
exactly.
a
Yeah, I
stud.
still like him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Cowser playing center field. That's crazy to me. But
Yeah.
round 23, Jobbers goes Joe Mack. Matt goes Miguel Vargas. Rolling Stoners goes Justin Sterner. Brackwaters, Hunter Gaddis. Delirium, Edwin Useda. I take Jung Ho Lee. Green Machines, Luke Weaver.
Nice.
Damage again. Cheating bastard, Camilo Duvall. Lucille Betts goes Matt Brash. And then Gerace back to back goes two relievers, Jason Adam, and then
Nice.
the starter of the next round, Alex Vesia. Yeah, there's
Is
some.
Joe Mack his second catcher? No, it can't be
I
right.
think it's his third.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
I get it. I mean, I know he's a high prospect, but I don't think I touch him in this draft, but I could see it. I
Yeah.
mean, he probably comes up this year at some point.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
so
out
weird.
on the
Next play.
Miguel Vargas pick, but I know why you took him there, but you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't take him again. You are big on the White Sox this year. Wallace called you on that, and it seems to be true.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I think Vargas had a good year last year, and
he
I think
did.
the multi position for first and third was key.
Yeah, right. I get that.
Yeah. What's weird in this one is that Jersey Jobbers played it safe, I guess, early in the draft, going guys like Perdomo. But
Yeah.
then you look at his roster, it's like minor league
Yeah.
guys. So he did draft some guys towards the end of the draft that were
You went young.
high upside. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Mamade,
the
Eldridge, Clark, all these guys.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
But well, smart, but I don't know if he has the team makeup where he should be doing that. Like, is he competing now, or like, I mean,
That's true.
or is
Like,
he-
how many more keepers are you going to get?
you have to, because
It's true.
injuries are a problem in this league. Like, you need
Yeah.
to be deep. So, like, but you can't be deep if you have all minor leaguers on your team.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Unless you're making trades, but yeah.
Right, but how often is
Yeah.
that? I mean, he
Right.
could make some trades, but
Yeah.
you can count on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I love the Hunter Gaddis pick there. I think that's a steal, the
Yeah.
23rd.
Yeah.
I kind of like all the relievers here. I like Luke Weaver. I like Duvall. I'm
I
cool
think
with
I was
Matt
eyeing
Brash.
Weaver. I was eyeing Weaver there
Yeah,
before Doval.
I like
But yeah,
Weaver. I get the Adam pick. I get the Vessia pick the next
yeah.
round. I would say my least favorite like here are the first three, Mac, Vargas, and Sterner. And I get all of them. I
Mhm.
get the appeal to all of them. I just those three were
Yeah.
not on my board. And you say
Yeah.
that I get, but he's fucking. I mean, I think he's really hurt,
Yeah.
like elbow hurt. But
Oh yeah. Ooh.
maybe come back later. But I was happy with the Jung Hoo Lee pick there, for
Yeah,
what
it's
he
amazing
is.
how he's kind of dropped down the last
Yeah,
couple of years.
he's
But
like
he's had some injury issues and all that kind of stuff too.
he's like he could be Stephen Kwan, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was happy with him there. All
Mhm.
right, 24. Gerace goes Vessia. Craig goes Robbie Snelling. Damaging goes. Oh, you took the Joshua Baez pick there. Nice.
Yeah.
Green Machines, Jonah Tong. I take Will Warren. Delirium goes Kevin Kinkle. Blackwater, Shane Smith. Rolling Stones, Brady House. Pie Tasters, Bennett Souza. And Jobbers, Kyle Harrison and Grant Holmes back to back. What sticks out to
Yeah.
you guys?
Mm, not a
Nothing.
lot of sexy picks, but yeah, I don't really have a lot of opinions on any of these guys. I don't like the Will Warren pick, but I
Yeah,
think I've
yeah, you
said
don't
this
like him.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just think, his shelf life is not going to be very long, I think. But I could be wrong. I mean, I just think they're so heavy once they start getting their guys back. And I don't think Will Warren's going to compete with guys like, Schlittler and Clark Schmidt and some of the other, rookies that they have kind of in waiting. It's kind of weird. Will Warren and Luis Heel are like in that weird area, for
yeah.
me
No, I
anyway.
get that. Yeah, definitely a risk. Definitely, he was like a definitely a spring training guy. So
Yeah.
I could see that.
I
But
like
he
the
was,
Jonah Tong pick right
yeah,
there.
I do too.
Yeah. And the
I like
Snelling too.
the Snelling pick. Yep.
Yeah.
I get the Vessia pick.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's a good pick right there. I think I was eyeing him in a couple rounds too.
I'm kind of out on Brady House, but I mean, I could be totally wrong. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Harrison
Yeah.
could be good there.
Harrison could be good there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Harrison.
yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
agree. And so could his next pick, Grant Holmes pick in the round 25. That's a fucking great
I
pick.
do like that.
I know he's got, 1.5 elbows, but um,
Yeah, that's the thing.
so Jobber starts out with Grant Holmes, Pie Tasters, Jacob Latz, Rolling Stoners, Spencer Jones, Blackwater, Tyler Rogers, Delirium, Matt Shaw. I take Matthew Liberatore, Green Machines, Brian King, Diamond Jake, Tristan Casas. Oh my goodness, who
Woohoo!
could imagine?
Let's do
Lucille
it.
Betts, Parker Messick, Master Disguise, Tommy Edmond, and then Yimi Garcia.
Yeah.
I say I like the Grant Holmes pick. I love my Matt Liberatore pick there. I'm fucking thrilled he fell there. Um, I like the Parker Messick pick, and I can understand all the rest of the picks, but except the Tristan Casas. But I do understand that because when you have a boner for a guy, it's hard not to get a boner for him next year.
Round, I don't think
25.
they're going to give up on him much, that easy.
Okay. Not as
But yeah,
easy
there's
as
a lot
you
of
are.
good. I know, but there's a lot of good players in this round. I like the Grant Holmes pick. I think Parker Messick is the sleeper pick there. I
Hmm.
think he's going to have maybe the best season out of all these guys.
Yeah.
And Liberatore had a decent year, even though the ERA didn't look great. But I had him in another league. I really dig that guy. I think he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good.
oh yeah, and Matt Shaw, like for him,
It's
I
worth
don't
it
know.
there.
I'm not big
It's
on Matt
worth it.
Shaw, but for the 25th round, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I like him as a post sleeper. I was looking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's worth it there. Spencer
And Tommy
Jones.
Edmond. How about that
Yeah.
pick? That's not
Yeah.
bad.
I don't mind the Edmund pick. If you can carve the time out.
Well, he's on the waiver already.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I hate the Tommy Edmund pick.
Yeah, horrible. What a
I don't
waste.
mind.
I
Is
found something that I like better on the waiver, so I just dropped it.
All
is
right.
Yimi Garcia on your team still?
He is. He's still there.
All right.
I
All
like
right.
him if he comes back. I think he's great and he's on
No, he
Toronto.
is good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
he'll be the guy that replaces Hoffman if Hoffman.
That's partially potentially true. Round 26, you start with Yimi. Lucille Betts goes Brooks Lee. Diamond Jink goes Clay Holmes. Green Machines Chris Martin. I take Brashton Ashcroft. From Pittsburgh, Delirium, Spencer Arrighetti, Blackwater, Miguel Amaya, Stoners, Trent Grisham, Pie Tasters, Cody Pons, Jobbers goes Max Clark and Jose Ferrer in the start of the next round. Yeah, I think my pick's the
Good picks.
sexiest. You guys agree with that, don't you?
Who, Braxton Ashcraft?
Yeah, come on.
I like him. Did you get Burrows too or no?
Hmm.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like both of those guys. They're just intriguing players, and like I wanted to get them both, but I just didn't get them in this league.
yeah,
But yeah, I like that pick a lot in this round. I think he's got high upside. I like the Arrighetti pick, but
I do
surprised they
too.
didn't keep him in the rotation. But it's a decent pick there.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him. I like the Cody Ponce
Yeah,
pick too. I know you've
Yeah.
been like wavering on him, but
yeah. I just got to see it. I just don't know. A guy that's coming over from Korea. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I get it. I like the Clay Holmes pick. I feel like he fell kind of far in drafts, but
I had him. I think I had him last year, and yeah, he was really solid first half. His K per
yeah,
nines were way better than I thought. He kind of drifted off towards the end of the year, but I think that was expected. He wasn't really like that was his first year as a starter. He wasn't built for it yet, but
yeah, that's true. If it
I like
holds,
his situation right now.
I agree. If it holds, and I
Yeah,
don't find it to be able to do so, but if Trent Grisham can repeat what he did last year, he's a great pick there.
true. Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't
He's in a
think he
good
does that.
situation. Me neither. Yeah, but did he steal some bases last year? I forget. No, he did not.
Right.
But yeah, the power was there. He's always going to have guys on base. He's always going to, if he gets on base, he's going to get knocked in. He's in a decent situation. So for a
Yeah,
guy, on the Yankees in the 26th round, that's pretty solid.
yeah, I
Love the
agree.
Max Clark pick.
I know Gerace does too. He wanted him.
I
Yeah,
I like Max Clark. I thought about taking him, but like it, my problem is just that the team has too many minor leaguers
Yeah,
for
right.
somebody that's trying to compete.
yeah,
That's my only problem with it.
They're gonna need it when they
yeah.
have to
He would.
trade for a pitcher after Skubal leaves.
Yeah, right.
Well, they're going to get a lot back for him. That's for sure.
That's true. That's true. All right, round 27, Jobbers goes Jose Farah, Pie Tasters Brooks Raley, Stoners Luisa Gale Acuna, Brackwater Yanni Cano, Delirium Paul Sewald. I take Jordan Walker. Max Meyer goes to Green Machines. Damajenko's Josh Young. Lucille goes Luis Heel, and Master of the Skies goes Logan Henderson, and then Nolan Arenado. I love the Logan Henderson pick. By far my
Yeah, me
favorite
too.
pick.
I think that might be the best pick.
Yeah, that and then Max Meyer. And outside of that, there's
Yeah.
holes in everything.
Right. Yeah.
I like the Josh Young upside though too. I'm a believer in his hit tool. I don't like that dude needs some fucking band-aids or some
I
fucking
know he needs to be in a bubble,
yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah.
Put him out
I'm,
in the field in
know,
like armor all or something.
I'm hoping he bounces back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both your picks have high upside if they could ever put it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Apparently it took me a
I
long
mean,
time.
what's Jordan Walker now? Jordan Walker's probably like 19 years old, right? He's 23.
Yeah,
It's
right. It's
crazy.
true. Wait, was this the round? I feel like this might have been the round where I forget what reliever it was, but it kept getting auto picked. Like Matt, you got
Oh,
auto picked by the guy,
I forget. Yeah,
and
yeah, there
then
was a
JP
guy
had
though.
to
yeah, I
reset.
don't remember which round it was.
And then
Yeah,
eventually he did go, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
it
eventually, yeah.
Stram or something like that?
maybe it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, but I like the Logan Henderson pick, man. I think that's really solid there.
me too. And Nolan Arenado, dude, you really did pretty well those last two rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, Arenado wasn't great last year, but
No.
he'll
what he
get
could do in
rejuvenated.
Arizona.
Yeah. All right. So you start the 28th off with Arenado. Craig goes Lucille Betts. Matt goes Peyton Tolle. Green Machines, Kristen Javiez. I take Jake Berger. Ryan Ahern goes Delirium. Brackwater. Hai Sung Kim from the Dodgers. Rolling Stones, Ronaldo Lopez. Pie Tasters, Joel Pagaro from San Fran. Jobbers goes Grant Taylor and Phil Maton.
Mm,
I like
uh,
the Peyton Tolle pick.
Yeah, I
And
wanted
I
to.
think the
yeah,
Bryce
flyer.
Miller is solid, like flyer,
Mhm.
even though he's hurt and has 1.5 elbows. Um,
Yeah.
I
I like
kind
the
of,
Christian Javier and Jake Berger picks. I think
Yeah,
they could be really useful this late in the draft.
yeah,
yeah,
I was
Jake
happy with the
Burger
Burger
is
pick there. Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah.
And I think the Ryan Herm pick is similar. Like,
Oh, great.
you know,
Yeah. No, I think Ahern's great. I mean, it's the Pirates, so but
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
he already had a good first game, so we'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah, but
Mm,
yeah, that's
yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever about Grant Taylor around 29. Jobber starts off with Phil Maton, Pie Tasters, Hunter Harvey, Rolling Stoners, Hogan Harris. I don't even know who the fuck that was. Brackwater, Gabe Spire from Seattle, Delirium, Carson Kelly. I take Josh Smith from Texas, Green Machines, Jake Cronenworth, Damajink, Lucas Ersteg. You actually now got the reliever for Kansas City. Lucille Betts goes Charlie
He's
Condon.
off. He's
Master
gone.
of Disguise goes Anthony Volpe, and then Master of Disguise again goes Corbin Burns to begin. So wait, what do you mean? Do you already drop Lucas Erceg?
I did.
Oh,
He's
Wow,
gone.
good for me because I'm going to pick him up.
He's already been picked up.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn it.
I let him go for Carlos Lagrange or whatever that
Mm,
Yankees prospect is.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I did like Lucas Erceg, and yeah, he was insurance for Estevez, but yeah, I just figured this late in the round, I can grab a guy that's going to give me a ton of holds. I think.
No, it's. I
Um,
mean, I like Lucas Erceg there. You dropped him, so obviously you don't.
yeah, yeah. He was the best available. I forget what I'm not really big on him for though. Um,
He like sucks at K per nine.
yeah, the K per nine was really low for him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I
Um,
do love the Volpe pick. I feel like that dude has
mm,
the perfect example of what we talked about before. We're like, we just throw guys in and we expect them to be elite right away. Like, let this
yeah,
guy breathe a little bit. And so I know that he's unhealthy right now, but if he was healthy, maybe he'd come in and like
yeah.
there'd be some like upside potential. So
Mhm.
in the end, I still feel like he has enough talent to win that job out. But I mean, he's got to get
Hmm.
healthy and he's got to be good enough. But I like the
Yeah.
upside of the Charlie Condon pick there. Like, what do you have to lose? Um,
Yeah, me too. I was definitely targeting him, I think, in these rounds. I was kind of bitter that he was taken
Yeah,
there.
Harris did a good
Um,
job of getting him.
yeah, I like all the relievers that were taken
Me
early
too.
that round. And Hogan Harris was kind of like a guy that just from reading like reports about him, he was just becoming just started to become like a guy that I was starting to target in my drafts and stuff. But I like that pick. I think
Yeah, I
all
wasn't aware
those
of him.
those first four guys are pretty solid.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I knew the other three. I didn't know him, but I had all of them targeted. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
And I took
last round.
Josh. Yeah, I took Josh
Oh
Smith
yeah, Josh
just
Smith.
because I felt like he did such a good job as a like kind of like a Zach McKinstry style like utility guy, and sounds like he has a second base job. So all right, if you can
For
put it
sure.
together, I'll be happy with that. And then oh yeah,
Yeah.
last round, check that out. All right, last round, dude, what a great pick with Corbin Burns. Gerace starts off with Corbin Burns. Craig
Yeah.
goes Kristen Campbell. Matt goes Matt Wallner. Green Machine's Matt Stram. I take Chad Patrick. Delirium goes Willie Castro. Brackwater, Miguel Andujar. Rolling Stones, TJ Rumfeld. Pie Tasters, Kopech. And then Jobbers ends it with Kate Anderson. What a great pick that is, too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but dude, what a deep draft.
I know. Seriously, everybody did
Jesus.
their homework. That
Yeah.
that last round is really pretty
The last
decent
round
too.
is really good. I like the Wallner
Willie
pick. I think
Castro.
that can be really sneaky. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Wallner could end up like a top five pick,
He was
if
he's
all
the he
goes
was
well.
he at the time of the draft he was batting cleanup. I don't know if he's
Right.
still in that spot, but I'll take that.
Yeah.
Christian Campbell, I mean, obviously a huge
Mhm.
fall from grace, but like still could be good.
Well,
Strom probably is the closer, you know.
He
Um,
could be. He's going to get a ton of holds, that's for sure.
yeah. Chad Patrick was a complete dart throw, like
Yeah, but he's
uh
got a spot in that rotation.
I like the
Milwaukee's usually
team.
good on their pitchers.
I trust the team. Right,
good
exactly.
shot to take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Kate Anderson's really smart. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, that's nice.
Wow. What a deep draft. Those guys go so late.
Hmm.
Any teams you want to look at? Shall we call it? Doesn't matter to me. It's been a while. I'm fine with chatting. You want to look at your teams really quick?
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
All
What do you
right.
want to? Let's start with your shitty team.
You want to start with my team?
Yeah.
Start. Wait, my shitty team. It doesn't exist. All
Uh-huh.
right. You're gonna see
Let's see
all my
these.
secrets.
These overachievers here. Let's see.
All right. Yanier
Oh,
Diaz,
the
Adley
catching.
Rutschman.
God.
Dude, what do you mean? Oh my God.
No,
Let's
I'm
fucking.
sorry. I
You
thought I
mean
was on mute.
you meant oh my God.
I thought I was on mute. I'm sorry. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead.
Aranda at first base, Chisholm, Machado, Witt, Gleyber Torres, Ernie Clement, Ramon Anthony. Ooh, you like that? You said woof in a good way.
No, you like that combination.
Sexy team. Look at that sexy team.
Yeah.
My bench is solid with Berger, potentially Cole Young, maybe Josh Smith, Jordan Walker. I like at least these three. Oh, they're all Giants. Wow. I got three
Yeah,
Giants in
right?
a row.
Wow.
That was crazy. All
They
right. Well,
they're really lighting the world on fire
the
right now.
Giants are good enough to be my bench
Yeah.
fantasy players.
Great picks. I think the White Sox have more runs than the
No,
Giants.
please. Well, they might, but my pitchers are. I would say I don't know if there's a team that has better pitchers than I do. Between
Oh,
uh,
Jesus Christ, really?
Wu, Brown, um, Freed. I mean, you want to count Snell, Adolo,
No.
Christopher Sanchez,
You
Bradish,
got
Liberatore.
the first four are really studly. No doubt
Yeah,
about it.
first
Wu,
four are stubborn.
Sanchez,
First four are
Brown,
like
and
four
Freed.
of the top 10 in the whole league.
That's not bad. It's
I'm
not
not
bad.
even I'm not even like exaggerating on that. Wu,
Oh,
Sanchez, Hunter Brown, Max Fried. At worst, in some players' ratings, they'd be four of the top 20, and that's only because Fried would fall lower. But most of
okay.
the list, they're four of the top 12, four of the top
Yeah.
15. Right. So then I back that up with Kyle Bradish, and however you want to rate these guys. I mean, I went Lodolo, Snell, Boz, and then my pen is decent. I don't have saves as usual. I got Duran for saves, and then I got some hopefuls in here. I do got
Good.
the closer for the Brewers, but
I don't think so.
but I got a lot of good holds, and I mean, I don't
Yeah,
I
your
don't think I
relievers are
have
good.
Yeah, we
I
just
don't think I have any holes in my team. Go ahead, Jace.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great. It's great. We definitely have to see how Matt's starters wound up because he's got two of the top three.
All
Thank
right,
you.
So it could be
Thank you.
competing, but yeah, it's definitely deep.
all
I
right. Let's see
Yeah,
match starters. We'll start up at the top. That's beautiful, beautiful catchers. Yeah,
absolutely. Best in the
sexy,
business.
solid first baseman, solid
Indeed.
second baseman, great third baseman. Love Ellie,
Oh
love
my God.
Neto.
When does it stop?
Uh, right here,
Keep going.
kills me.
Right here.
Acuna, solid. I mean, great. Curry,
Yeah,
solid. Yeah, solid. It's really good. It's good. It's good. Your bench leaves something to be desired.
true. I'll agree
Yeah.
with that. But they
I
all
mean,
play a role. I like it.
yeah, I agree with that.
You
I
know?
think that Friedel can be really useful. If
Yeah.
if these guys hit, they can be really useful. Warner can be really useful. But
Yeah.
there's something if you yeah, I'll tell you what. If what happens to you the last couple of years happens to you, which is injuries, you might be in trouble. Because I don't know if you have the depth to survive it. Did I cut out on you guys? You guys are frozen. God damn it. Hopefully this whole video isn't me talking to myself.
No, I hear
no,
you.
I
You
can
hear
You
me?
heard, yeah, but did you hear my because you guys definitely froze on my end.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I
your
hear a little. It's breaking up a little bit.
Little
your
bit.
team's
I think I
weakness
heard.
is that you can't have any injuries.
I can have injuries, and here's why. If you look at my defense, my DH, and my utility players as well,
Hmm.
like those are good filling guys. And
That's
then
true.
if I have to bring in somebody else, I think my bench is pretty deep. I went with a lot of multi-position guys for my backups, so I'm pretty confident. I mean, obviously, if you lose Aaron Judge, you're in
No, of
trouble.
course.
Not
Yeah.
in trouble,
I mean,
but
I could
you're
probably
yeah,
survive
like
it.
uh-huh. Okay. But I can afford like one or two of those injuries too. I don't think there's anything that really breaks me. I have two of the best shortstops in Dela Cruz and Neto that I can swap. So I'm pretty comfortable. I think first base might be a little weak if I have an injury with Harper.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's probably one of my biggest weaknesses, just first base.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But
That's fair.
let's 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 move down to this pitching
Your
stuff.
pitching's
Tyler.
sexy. You got Skeens and Crochet,
More than sexy, bro.
Kirby
Let's
and Peralta. That's
yeah.
that's great. Uh,
Incredible. Good.
and then you got Flaherty, and then you got Gavin Williams, and I guess,
Shane McClanahan. Are
dude,
you
what do you
poo-pooing
expect from
Shane?
him? I love
Right.
Shane McClanahan, dude. He's
All right.
sexy of all sexiness, but like,
They all check a lot of boxes. I'm very happy. I don't
no,
think there's any holes really with any
I
of these
like your
guys. No,
staff.
like,
Yeah.
I like your
you know,
staff. You don't
yeah,
have
I'll still give
any
it. I'll still give it to Anderson because it's deeper, but your front heavy.
true.
But
It's
I
definitely
mean,
comparable.
your
Like if
three
you
and
gave it to
four
Matt,
pitchers.
I wouldn't be upset. Yeah,
Yeah, but no, but
Yeah,
his 3 and 4 pitches are also really good, but
they are.
kind of
Kirby,
yeah,
where it stops. Like I think the rest of it's kind of
yeah.
it,
But I
it,
think you're giving Jeff a little too much credit, and I'm trying to be fair. I mean, I think
yeah.
Chad Patrick, Will Warren, even Baz and Ashcroft are not slam dunks.
that's true. That's fair. That's fair. But your bullpen, dude, is your bullpen could be awful. It's solid, right? God damn, you guys keep freezing. It's not your fault. I can see, but it says my internet's unstable. What the fuck's going on in my house?
Yeah, you're frozen picture wise, but we hear you.
All right, that's good. I'm trying to
Yeah,
watch Kevin McGonigal take a walk as he did. Anyway,
yeah,
your bullpen. I love Edwin Diaz.
yeah,
I like Helsley and Keller.
yeah.
I could tolerate Doval. I'm obviously completely out on Estevez, and then you got
Yeah,
no backups, and so
no,
and that's fine. You could pick them up for like,
exactly.
but you really have one elite arm in your pen, and and Edwin Diaz, and the rest are your pen. If you get injuries and your pen sucks, you're going down. I put a curse on you.
Guys on the waiver wire that are going to be like 25, 30 hold guys. There's always guys like that. That's why I always kind of punt on the relievers, and I
Well,
went more closer concentrated.
you better get them
Well,
when
I
they're
don't need
out
them
there.
right now.
Now you do.
I'm pretty happy. I mean, Brad Keller's got his job for the next 2 years. He's making 10 million a year. I mean, what's
I
not to
like
like
Brad
about
Keller.
him?
Brad Keller is like your
Yeah.
second best pen arm.
Well, Duvall's going to get a ton of holds too. I mean,
Yeah, with
he's
like a
pretty much locked in.
170 whip, 1.7 whip. The dude,
We'll
like,
see.
I think they need to
His
take the
former
blind.
closer.
He's like a horse. They got like blinders
Uh-huh.
on him, but they have him sometimes in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Well, he's backing up Bednar. So are you really sold 100% on Bednar? I
No,
mean,
and you
Duvall
know
could
that.
could see a
That's.
lot of save opportunities too,
I
though.
think my favorite guy in that pen is Fernando Cruz.
Yeah, and he's got
Yeah,
flaws too, though.
he does. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
All right, Gerace's team. I like. I love Contreras. He's such a great hitter, man. Bo, you're probably gonna have to. I mean, less. Oh, Jesus, Dingler just took one in the back. Um, you're probably gonna have to get another catcher, which I think you did later on.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
do.
got Herrera.
He's
You got
got
Herrera.
Herrera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
in 2 weeks. In
Yeah.
2 weeks, it'll be
Right.
Herrera.
So
In
and once you get
September.
those two, that's pretty elite. That's pretty nice.
That is great. Yeah. I love
And
Vlad, Kettle Marte. Your team's so
yeah,
stacked. Jesus.
it's nice.
You love this guy.
Dude, he's
Like
great.
you should put a dress on him and like
Who's that, Abrams?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
Dude,
you
and
see
he's
what he did
still.
yesterday?
What did he do yesterday?
No, he's solid.
Okay.
Bases loaded. He hit a pretty deep fly ball, but he just watched it. Just
Oh,
stood and
really?
watched it, and then it was off the wall or whatever it was, and he should have had a stand-up double, but he got thrown out going in the second, and so
Oh,
that
okay.
ended the inning. But they got 2 runs, which was
Right,
good. But
right.
like, dude, it's
I didn't
fucking
see that.
like
He's
Shit.
still studly, man. That's a
nah.
great
Yeah,
top
yeah,
half of your
yeah.
lineup
I
for
agree. I
sure.
like Manzardo, Nimmo. Your
Yeah.
team's really good. Wow, you
Yeah.
don't have any weaknesses in your hitting,
Eh,
fucker.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, Nimmo and Reynolds are good, but I would kind of count those as like the biggest weakness. And
But
Tyler O'Neill in your starting
but
lineup.
all right. Tyler O'Neill is your weakest so far, but what he
Yeah.
could have started
Well,
Ozuna,
Trout's going to get outfield, so Trout will get moved over
Okay.
right?
because he's
Yeah.
playing center again.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and so I could put Crawford in there and get stolen bases, or
Jackson Holiday need to come back.
he's going to come
Yeah,
back. Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All
We
right,
got to
so
see what he turns into, though.
yeah, and you got some young guys. You got Miller, Crawford.
Mhm. Got some old guys too.
You got some old guys, and apparently half these guys aren't even here. Vientos is
Jesus.
gone,
Well, no, Vientos is going to be
right?
gone.
He's
And
gone.
then
Yeah.
whatever the pitcher.
Yeah, I picked up Gorman. They want to give full at bats
I
to
like
him.
that. I like that. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
like him as a backup.
All right, let me see your pitchers here. There you got a lot of guys on. Holy shit, dude, your team's really red.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Wow,
Oh,
not all of them.
not your strength for
Most of
sure.
them weren't drafted that way.
that's true. Well, 2 of them were. and
Well,
then
yeah, those two
these
were.
guys were new.
Yeah,
Um,
they weren't hurt at the time.
I like Cavalli. Did you pick him up?
I just picked them up. Yeah.
I remember seeing him out
Yeah.
there. I was like, I was shocked he wasn't drafted.
Another guy
Um,
that like all the experts are kind of like salivating on right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's solid. We already talked about Avadi. I love Gilbert.
Yeah.
Right.
Glass now, obviously solid. He goes, your
Yeah.
pitching steps solid.
Yeah.
McGill, I like your pen. Got, I
We only
mean,
got
you're,
4 relievers. Oh, and you got
uh,
Adam and Garcia. God damn, dude. You just dropped everybody that's injured?
yeah, Senga. I like the
Adam's
depth of your
got
Adam
one
was
pitching.
one good
Adam had a
leg.
good shot at starting the year. They just put him on. He was playing at the end. They just put him on the IL.
Yeah.
So
That injury is pretty scary though. I mean,
yeah,
he had to get like carted off
Did he
when he got
really?
hurt.
Jason Adam?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
I,
Plus, I don't think they let him do like the crazy like infield, you know, drills and stuff yet. That's what I heard last, but I could be
yeah.
wrong.
But he shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that long. It doesn't sound
Yeah,
like it's going to be
I
that
mean,
long
if
in the
if you
States.
get
So
the Jason Adam back, then that's
yeah,
pretty good. Yeah,
yeah,
so I was definitely eyeing him up too, just to put him on the IR spot.
right,
Same with Shane Bieber.
yeah,
Yeah, but there's some sneaky guys. Senga, Ober for sure. Louder could
mhm.
be a sneaky guy. Logan Henderson when he comes back, I think
Brett
could be
Lauder.
promising too.
Yeah, Brett Lauder.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. So,
Those
I mean,
obviously not as deep as you guys, but
your hitting is
No,
my
really deep.
hitting's going to carry me, and like
Yeah,
hopefully my pitching is just there enough
true.
to take me
yeah.
over. But
All right,
Any other
let's
I
show
mean,
teams?
some
You,
respect.
it's hard when you guys are keeping three
so
and
many
four
good
pitchers
players.
that
Yeah,
are like really good, and I'm only keeping one. I have to play catch up.
no, no, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
it's interesting. You only kept one pitcher, right? Logan Gilbert.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
because
that's
it's hard because my teams like my hitters are so deep. It's
yeah.
like what pitchers am I really going to keep? I think it's easier to fill your pitchers than your hitters in this draft.
Right.
Especially with like slam dunks, it's really tough to get them.
Right,
And when
right.
you
So
do
that's
get
the
them,
strategy. So
I think
last
that's
year
what.
it worked. Last year my hitting was the problem. Like my
Yeah,
hitting
yeah.
was the one where Jeff and Jersey Jobbers just like blew everybody out of the water. My pitching was like I think I had over 50 points in my pitching the whole year.
My pitching was horrendous last year.
Yeah.
Let's pay some respect and look at Jersey Jobbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Real quick, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Chase the Lauder hit another home run.
Not bad.
Mhm.
Better trade him now.
What? Something went wrong.
Ooh, there
That's
we
weird.
go.
That was weird. It still says Gerace. Look at that. That's really
Yeah.
strange. All right, there we go.
There we go.
I love Langoliers, man.
Decent catchers.
He hit a home run tonight.
Yeah, he's another guy I think that's going to go up and up. You know,
Kurtz, yeah, Semien, Chapman,
Kurtz, yeah.
Perdomo, Dames, Devers.
Semenian definitely sticks out.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But we'll see
I
what
You
else
didn't
he
know,
like
has.
Chapman either, though.
yeah.
Devers, Carroll, Doyle. Got a lot of like athleticism, like
That
20,
that freaking
25,
outfield.
25.
Yeah,
That outfield is
Jesus.
like my starting pitching. It's so
Yeah.
incredible.
yeah.
You know.
I was like, wait, what? No, it's good. Wow, he's got Churio on the IL. Jesus.
Yeah.
Really
Oh yeah,
young.
holy
Holy
shit,
shit.
dude!
Got no
His
bench.
four outfielders are incredible.
He's got no bench, so. Like
Yeah,
literally, if
that's
anyone's hurt, he's got to pick someone up, which is fine.
yeah.
I mean, I guess Cole Keith.
I guess
Um,
Max the first to go. Jet Williams, you know, he can afford to lose some of those guys.
yeah. All right. So pitching, Yamamoto,
Wow,
DeGrom. He kept DeGrom. I forgot about that. Logan
he
Webb.
did.
Pitching's really solid. King,
Yeah,
Amai, Chandler. I like the
I
pen.
yeah, I asked him why he kept DeGrom, and it was sort of like what we were saying. Like, you know, good pitching is so hard to find, and when you find it, you just kind of keep it.
Yeah,
But he
not for
had a
me.
ton. He threw back so many first round draft picks. Like
Nah, he did.
you could have swapped DeGrom for somebody else, but he also kept Logan Webb and Yamamoto at the same time, and
Yeah,
kept a third pitcher.
yeah. No, I
So I
really do
like
like
this.
his pen. You know, I like all these guys in here. I like Brian Weathers. No, I mean he's got a solid team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Solid mix of veterans and young players. The only thing that stops him really is injuries. Um,
True. Yeah.
this is we've talked about this, and I get the reasoning behind it. But like seeing a
Hmm.
guy like Nick Kurtz, who was just drafted last year, I I
Yeah.
I prefer when the new draftees go back into the draft pool, because how much fun would it be for a guy like Nick Kurtz, like to be
Yeah.
in a draft? And I get that, like you can pick him up and all that stuff, but like I don't know,
Hmm.
like I just feel that teams are
Yeah.
in different places when the draft happens, which is like mid-June. And
Yeah.
then by the time you're picking someone up, it's probably closer to July. And then so like between July, basically July, September, and October, not even October because the season's over for us by then. Like there's basically
Hmm.
2.5 months. Like, if you're a competing team, you either have to be like really healthy to have the room to drop someone, or just sacrifice someone to pick up like a shot. And I get that. And that's part of the argument of like why not to let go. But like I feel like
Yeah.
having a guy like Nick Kurtz in the draft would
Hmm.
be so much more fun.
Was he a
Hmm.
pickup?
Yeah,
Kurtz wasn't drafted last year?
I think he
I
was. He was.
think he was
I thought he was just drafted last year.
drafted last year.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
You're
think he
saying
was
you're
in the
saying
draft.
anybody that's drafted once should return, or you're saying someone that was picked up should return?
Well, yeah. I mean, my preference is anyone that's picked up should be returned anyway. But
Right.
but like that's just my preference. I know that that's not like everyone's preference. I know
Right.
it's.
No, I was just
Yeah.
trying to think of what your argument was for Kurtz, because if he
I,
was drafted last year.
yeah. And maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe let me see what it was. I feel like players that are drafted in that like
Yeah.
year shouldn't be
Nick
able to
Kurt
be kept.
Nick
He's
Kurtz was
2024.
drafted.
Yeah.
He was drafted in the 21st round
Right.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So then
Um,
that blows my argument. But like that, but I
yeah.
do believe in that particular rule makes the
Yeah.
draft deeper. Like it happened like a couple years before with
Hmm.
Wyatt Langford and Paul Skeens. Like they
Yeah.
were
Well,
they were
I
picked
think
up.
Juan Soto is a great example because I think Gerace picked him up.
Well,
Yeah.
Um,
that's a pickup thing,
yeah.
but that wasn't like he was drafted that year. So like
No.
I can see both of those arguments, but like, and I understand like the reasoning behind it, like when we chat with JP about it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, anyway, but obviously my
Yeah.
point is mute with Nick Kurtz, but this
Yeah.
team's fucking stacked. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Why don't we close it out looking at our commissioners team real quick,
Hmm.
JP?
Let's take a look. All right, so
Because I
he
know.
admitted he's in the rebuilding phase, so he knew he was
Yeah.
going to go
Yeah.
young,
Yeah.
which
And
is
I
good.
I think some of his keepers were really good, especially
I
Kevin
agree.
McGonigal, Basalo. But like, let's take a look at JP.
I agree. Basalo's good. Wells, I think he's got disrespected this year.
I think so
Alonzo,
too.
solid. Polanco's, I like Noel
Hmm.
Marte. No, I think he's
Yeah.
got some solid
This
players here.
sneaky team. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to get Jock somewhere this year, but didn't get him
Yeah.
anywhere. He was kept most places.
Yeah.
But no, he's got a lot of young upside
Uh-huh.
for sure.
Hmm.
And then it's funny. I
Yeah.
guess he really
Alfonso.
loves DeVries because I guess he kept him here. He kept him in
Yeah.
Dianks. Um,
Yes. It's looking like a smart move too. That guy's looking
could be. Yeah. I
studly.
I kind of like Jordan Beck, and I already said I like Suzuki. I actually
Yeah.
really like his bench. I think his bench gives him a lot of flexibility there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
a lot of upside, but he could also drop the guys.
True. Yeah.
And his pitchers, as much as like sometimes I've ragged on him, not intentionally, but like
Yeah.
with guys like that I don't love, like Castillo and Gosman, like in the
Mhm.
end, his pitchers are pretty safe and solid, like
Well,
consistent horses.
yeah, until you get to the bench, but
Right.
yeah,
His problem's going to be he doesn't have enough pitchers,
yeah.
especially
But
this
if Castillo and Alcantara kind of come back to what they normally do,
Mhm.
teamed up with McLean and
No,
Imanaga and Gossman, that's pretty
yeah.
solid. I
Really
like
doesn't
that.
have any relievers though. Jesus, he's got Hunter Harvey and Jacob and no,
Yeah,
Hunter Harvey and Brooks Raley
yeah. Ponce and Nelson are both starters, right?
starters. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting. Like I'm my question would be if you're going to go that far, why bother at all with saves and holds? You know, because you
right.
basically
hmm
already punted it, unless you're just going to pick
yeah,
guys up, and that's fine. But at
yeah.
least a week into the season, starting roster, like he's punting saves and holds. So why not
Ooh,
do it all the way?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And then you wonder like which one of his bench players on offense are going to be cut loose.
Right, exactly. Oh, don't,
Yeah,
Matt's salivating. I hope it's
I
Otto
am.
Lopez. I mean, I hope it's not Otto Lopez.
Well, it might be your Odalis Garcia guy. Who knows?
Real quick, let's look at Craig's team real fast.
Okay.
I know he's an interesting character in the way he's building his team, right? So he's always just 2 years away. It's a geological oddity. He's two years away from everywhere. Um, but
Nolan's a
dude,
starter. Wow.
ah, that's hideous. But his catchers, dude, could be really sexy coming in
Yeah.
next year and this year.
Absolutely. Especially if
I,
Ramirez steals a lot of bases for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, I can't imagine Shanwell is his starting first baseman, but we'll get deeper. But his infield solid. I
Yeah,
love Ben Rice. Ben Rice could be first base or
could
catcher.
be. And Sal Stewart.
And South Stewart,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is he?
Oh, damn. And
I
the White
guess
Sox dude, Murakami.
Yeah, and Vaughn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah, he's he's safe. He's safe. No, I think he's got a really solid team.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of solid players. I think I think this is make or break for O'Neal Cruz for sure
I
this
agree.
year.
I agree.
But yeah, yeah, a lot of these other guys. Andrew Vaughn, not a bad pick. McLean, I wouldn't be disappointed with those guys in my utility spot.
Exactly. South Stewart, probably a keeper moving
hmm
forward. Yeah.
Ken Zone, I think did he pick him up? I forget.
Yeah,
But
just picked him up. Yeah,
yeah, that guy looks promising. I like the Jordan Lawler pick. I
I do too.
wish I would have grabbed him in one of these drafts too. Um, not bad.
I like his pitchers. I think. I mean, he had solid guys coming in. With Skubal and Yuri and Rogers, and then add in
Yeah,
Horton and Burns. He had Captain Gallen. I like
yeah,
his
that's not
pen,
bad.
and I like Burrows and Jacob Lopez and Parker Messick and
What does he have for
Snelling.
what does he have for saves?
I guess
Very nothing.
Griffin Jacks and yeah, not much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah he's
Ooh,
Holdens.
yeah.
Yep.
Going for the holds.
Going for the Holdens.
That could be a hole in the lineup there.
It
Yeah, I
could
like the
be.
backups, Burrows, Bell.
Yeah,
I like Jacob
nice.
Lopez. Messick, I said was great. Yeah, he can make some moves to get a closer or two. Andrew Painter, yeah, he really went all in. He's got some depth pitching wise.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, I think this is
Jeez.
good. I think he built a good team now. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Anyone else? We good? I know there's so many. We could go through everyone, but it would take forever.
I know.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think overall the draft is really fucking deep this year,
hmm
and I think everyone did a really goddamn good job. Unfortunately, I wish you guys would bone more picks.
yeah. This is gonna be tough for me, but I'm gonna do it.
You're
Going
gonna do
back to
what?
greatness, fellas.
What, dude?
Can you go to the
What?
former champions real quick?
Yep.
Let's just
Hold
take a
on.
look.
Hold on. Let me get there. All right.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
That's not what I was talking about, but
Different champion.
yeah, we might as well call it a night.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I
I
mean,
know who two of the last three were.
have I come in second place every year?
No, wait,
Like,
didn't you win 3 years
I don't
ago?
think so.
yeah, 3 years
Didn't you
ago.
win right before me? Or no?
I came in second last year. You came in
Right.
third. 2024, I came in second behind
Okay,
you.
against me. But then didn't you win the year before that?
Oh,
I came in
League
second.
Champions is on the homepage.
Oh
I
shit, you came in
I
second.
came
Yeah.
in second behind Blackwater. I think the year before that I won. I won
Oh, okay,
2020.
there it is. Yeah.
Here's the
I
champions
came in
from
second. Come on, dude. I'm in second every year.
who came in first that
Every,
year. Oh wow,
every
it's me.
fucking year. And this year I was not good. I was
Yeah.
Oh,
seventh.
COVID year doesn't count.
But since 20,
Doesn't.
that's yeah, I was struggling back then. But since
Yeah, COVID year, I
2021,
stopped paying attention because of all the freaking team, the game suspending and stuff. I was
yeah,
just like, this is like stupid.
Nice.
since
Good stuff.
2021, it's been
Yeah.
second year every year except for one. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
expected to be up
that's
there.
fantastic.
Yeah,
What's your address? We'll send you the participation trophy.
send it to me, dude. I'll wear it
Yeah.
right on my shirt.
Uh-huh.
Hey, since then we've all won once, so
That's
you
true.
can't say
That's
True.
true. Well, good shit, boys. I
Yeah.
think the league's gonna be super competitive. I think some fucking smart picks. I love this league. I think it's really
Yeah.
fun and unique. And I already love that Matt's 35 points behind me.
What?
And
Let's
yeah,
go to the scores. Let's see what's
I
going
am
on
looking
tonight.
at the scores. But
Oof,
yeah, that's exactly what he's going to be saying all year. Oof. I'll
please.
get you a squeezy doll. You
I
go,
have
oof,
like five guys going tonight. I'm all right.
squeeze it. Oof.
Very happy.
All right, boys. Well, thank you for your time. I'm going to hit record, end recording, and then we can chat a little bit. And then I got to go pee. So
Cool.
give me 1 second here.